are back here with the Pittsburgh Pirates and the LA Angels for a great matchup. Now this is game 2 of a 3-game series, and Pittsburgh destroyed LA yesterday 10-2. So let's just jump right into it and just see kind of how the game plays out. And we'll jump in right now. We are currently, let's see, I'm currently ranked first place with a 1.5 points. So I'm going to take that, and I'm good with that for right now. But obviously it's not sustainable, and obviously we need to get more points. And so the game, as the game progresses, we'll kind of see how that goes. Now, as I mentioned before, we are still in the top of the first. There is one away, one runner on base. So again, the game is still early, so being in first place doesn't mean a lot right now. But currently, Marte is up to bat. Marte has a 285 batting average. That one is tight and inside. Okay, so you can just look. So I actually have 1.5 points, and nobody else has points at all. So I will take that with that base hit by Reynolds. So that's good for me. And again, I do have Marte on my board, so it's hard to really look at anybody's boards and actually get a good understanding of where everybody else is and what's kind of going on. But again, Marte has 285 average, an 824 on base percentage, and 20 home runs on the year. And there is a line drive right down the center, and it gets past the shortstop and just into shallow center field, and that is good for a base hit. So Marte gets on base with a single, and that is great for me because that now puts me well up in the lead with 2.5 points. And Josh Bell is coming up, so let's actually take a look and see if anybody else has something going on in their boards. Still nobody has anything going on in their board, so let's actually get a look at what... Oh, so they do have something. They have something. So people have got points. So for whatever reason, that's cool. Okay, so let's just check this out. So who do we have up? Josh Bell. So again, Josh Bell has been kind of their go-to guy. 286 average, 963 on base percentage, and 30 home runs on the year. Ooh, and there's deep in the ground, and that is a wild pitch, and the runners will advance. And the throw to second is in time, and he is out, and that is now 2 away. Great pickoff throw and great recovery by Max Stassi at the catching position. And Pittsburgh does not get the steal at second, and there you can see, so the throw is in the dirt, and Stassi has the awareness and the speed to get the ball just in time in perfect placement, so Fletcher can get the ball down and gets the out, gets the tag at second, and that is a great play. So now there's 2 away. But that being said, one runner still in scoring position, and Josh Bell is a very, very legitimate threat to go deep. So Bell again up in the count right now. You can double check to see the points. Yep, still. Ooh, and there's a strike. So that is the first strike for Bell. So the count is 3-1 right now. And as you can see, if we go back to the board, it still says I am the only person with 2.5 points, and it does say that people do have negative points. Now those are the and they take the walk right there. So Bell gets on base. So now I am already building a fairly strong board. As you can see, I do have Reynolds, Bell, and if I get Trout is in that critical bottom right-hand corner. So that'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. Marte does have 1 point, so I do believe we have Colin Moran coming up, and I don't have Moran on my board.
But for the sake of knowing, he does have a 281 average, 768 on-base percentage, and 11 home runs. So probably the smart thing to walk Bell. And either way, I'm good because he does get points, so that's huge for me. Okay, here we go. As you can see, LA's pitching has not been ideal, so there is actually a significant gap in what's happening in the points. So I think everybody went with Pittsburgh. That's why everybody's at 0. But we do have a few people at 0.8 of a point. Oh, this person actually has 1 bingo, so that's why. So they must have had Marte, Bell, and Reynolds. So they got that first horizontal bingo right there. It gives them a score of 0.8, which makes up for the deficit of being -4 with the LA pitching. So I'm actually doing fairly well. I am the only person with serious points in this game with a score of 4 right now. And again, it's like we are still in the top of the first inning, so this could go on very differently after this first inning, but we will see. And again, the score is still 0-0. And Moran fouls away. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Count is 0-2. Moran is down in the count. Runners at first and second in scoring position, 2 away. The score is 0-0, and Moran is 0-2 in the count. So he has to do something here right now to see if he can actually make a difference in the game. Because it would be a shame for Pittsburgh to leave 2 runners on base, especially 1 in scoring position. And the pitch. Ooh, high fastball. It looks like they were looking for Josh Bell to make the steal to second, trying to get him out again. So the count is 1-2. And again, Patricia as well has that same bingo, but does have Moran on her board, so Moran could get her points. So people already have bingos, and and there's another high fastball. 94 miles an hour. The count is 2-2. And it's very early days, ladies and gentlemen, very early days. So again, Moran, 2-2. Ooh, and there's a foul ball right there. So the count remains 2-2, 2 away, 2 on base. And Moran, one lucky player, or one lucky fan gets the ball. And he's not going to give it to his wife or girlfriend or whoever that was. So that's unfortunate. Ooh, and there it goes. Pops it up. And Renfroe is there for the easy catch. That is 3 away, and that ends the top of the inning. So the Angels get out of it without any problems. But that was a very, very close inning. So Moran strikes out, and then when we come back, I will see who we will have on. But so Griffin Canning, though, who did pitch for LA right there, he has a 4.71 ERA, and we have won games with him before. So Canning is somebody that I actually really like personally. He's somebody that I believe in. It's somebody that I thought I wanted to go with. But if you look at my board specifically, I did go with Pittsburgh. I went with Pittsburgh for a variety of reasons. Pittsburgh surprisingly has a very, very high batting average. I wouldn't say significantly higher than LA, but still higher. So higher to the point that when I set up the board and looked at who I had on it, I thought, you know what, if I don't put the Pittsburgh pitcher in, I'm going to regret it, I think, even with a higher ERA. So I believe Pittsburgh's pitcher does have a 5.07 ERA, 5.09 ERA, so slightly higher than Griffin Canning. But after their 10-2 win yesterday, I think I'm going to have a little bit of faith in Pittsburgh, and they did overcome. So Pittsburgh actually did overcome an 8-game losing streak, and they snapped that yesterday in very dramatic fashion. Again, by destroying LA 10-2. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how LA responds now and how that kind of makes a difference. So, but we will see what is happening. So anyways, it'll be good to see. So I'm excited to kind of see. The biggest issue that LA had is LA at one point was potentially in the hunt. It doesn't look like they are anymore. They have kind of dropped out of that position, and they've really kind of I don't want to say given up, but they're not. Ooh, and there's a. Oh, that's a replay from yesterday. Sorry. And there's the pitch. Fastball, high and inside. Ball one. Oh, wait, no, sorry. There we go. 91 mile an hour strike. Fastball. Okay. So, Pittsburgh is pitching now. So we will actually have to see. So Trevor Williams has a 5.06 ERA, as I mentioned before, facing off against David Fletcher of LA, who has got a 277 average, 720 on-base percentage, and 5 home runs. And very interesting to note from my board, at least, I actually replaced Fletcher last minute with Marte, I believe it was. Ooh, and there is a strong strike. Strike 2. The count is 2-2, but let's actually look at the board now and see kind of where everybody else is laying at. So there, now the points have caught up. I am at 4, but still in first against second place, who does have a bingo. But again, -1 in that pitching. Ooh, and tight and inside. That is a 91 mile an hour fastball. 3-2 is the count. No outs, no one on base. In the bottom of the first, Fletcher, again, 277 average. And Fletcher is on Adam's board. So if Fletcher gets on board, Adam will take the lead here. And there's a base hit down the left baseline, and it gets past the third baseman, Colin Moran. And that's going to be good for a double. The throw is obviously not in time. But that is a double from Fletcher, so that is going to completely change the scoring and the boards. And you can see I am now down to -1 for my pitching. And I have a score of 3, and my rank has gone from 1st to 55th. I will repeat that. My rank has gone from 1st to 55th. So that is something that we need to be very aware of. So let's check the ranks now. And Mike Trout is up. So Mike Trout can get us a bingo and maybe get us back into first. But we will have to see how that plays out for me. But as you can see, Adam is in first with 5.8 points and does have Mike Trout as well. Who else? I think it's still early days, so there's not a lot of people that are going to get something out of Mike Trout, I think, at this point. They don't have Trout. Trout right there. Oh, there we go. So, BRTTBE11 will also get a bingo if Trout gets on base. So there's another ball. Mike Trout, again, still in the fight for the AL MVP race. So it'll be interesting to see how he finishes off on that. The count is still 2-0. Low breaking ball. It's a slider. Count is now 3-0. So Trout is up in the count with no away, 1 on base at second, and has the ability to send the ball deep. So it's something that we need to be aware of, especially, as I have Pittsburgh's pitching on my board, and that's going to be a critical thing because I'm already at -1 right now, so I can't afford. And that is very, very close. That is a 93 mile an hour fastball, just low and outside, but inside enough to call a strike. So that is strike 1. The count is now 3-1. As Trout lines up, and you can see he's got that traditional aggressive stance. And Trout can get me a bingo and can get this person a bingo. And they are going to call that a ball. So ball 4 on a 92 mile an hour fastball, and Williams walks another one. So Trout gets on base, so that will give a bingo to TTBE11. But remember, I will also get a bingo. So I was at 55th position. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. But also let's see how this person plays out. So they were in third with a score of 5. And we will see what they go up to. So with my bingo of Trout, Bell, and Reynolds, I only go up to a score of 3.9, which is good enough for 48th place. So, but overall, BRTBB or whatever was got their bingo, but again, did not move up greatly. It's only moved up to 4th place with a score of 6.9, and they had 5 points. So, again, very early days, and a lot of the scores that you're getting on the board are not high enough or significant enough to actually make a difference at this point. But Jericho is up in first right now. Does have 1 bingo count, and it looks like it would have been Trout, Fletcher, and Reynolds, I believe, would have been their bingo to get them in first with 7.5 points. So Ohtani is up now. And Shohei Ohtani is a 289 average, 853 on base percentage, and 15 home runs on the year. So Stallings and Williams already discussing it at the mound, trying to get an understanding to calm down because there is 2 on base, 1 runner in scoring position on second, and there's no way. So Adam, so let's see somebody who has Ohtani in a very critical position. Let's see, Ohtani, because I figured Ohtani would be on a lot of players' boards just because he is a very consistent player. I've used him multiple times on Ranking Ball, and he usually gets you positive points. I don't think I remember him actually striking out. So I say that, and now he might strike out. Ooh, there's a strike. Was it a strike? I think that might have been a ball, actually. If they called that a ball, that's crazy. Does that look like it was? I don't know. We'll see. So, oh, look at this person's board. They have a lot of points going on. Ooh, and there is a deep hit to left field. Deep. And that is just foul. Like, just foul. So that is very close. Probably too close for my comfort personally. But again, this is the tough part with ranking balls, where I'm torn because I obviously have Ohtani on my board in that bottom center corner, but you want the points from Ohtani, but you have to consider the pitching as well. So this is always a difficult thing, and this is why I usually go with an over-aggressive board for one team rather than the other. So Ohtani, nobody else seems to have Ohtani, which is surprising. And there it is, another drive to deep left field, and that is going to be at the warning track. And 1 run will score here. And so that is good for a double. And Ohtani blasts one out to deep left field. And David Fletcher will score. And LA goes up 1-0. And that is not what I needed at all. As you can see, my pitching score has gone deep into the dumps. And it looks like this could be a very, very long game for me in Ranking Ball, unfortunately. So, I should have gone with LA, I say that now. But, again, long game ahead. We'll kind of see how that plays out. So you can see it just drives it into the gap right along that third baseline. So Ohtani is a great player to have in that regard because you do get that kind of consistency out of him. And he, I mean, obviously he is their designated hitter. Ooh, wow. So that was a 85-mile-an-hour slider. And Justin Upton with a 213 average, 706 on-base percentage, and 7 home runs took an ugly swing at it. But we can see if somebody has Upton on their board. Ooh, we have a new leader today as well. And Ohtani has changed things up significantly for everybody. Yo, Bob. Cool. Ohtani. Oh, you, Bob had Ohtani. Let's see, who is up again? Justin Upton. So again, trying to find Upton is going to be a bit of a struggle. But we can go through it. Pookie Puff. Okay, cool. Let's see. I don't think a lot of people are going to have Upton. And waits, and there's the throw, and there's one away now. but again, another run will score. So LA goes up 2-0 now. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. So Justin Upton grounds out to third baseman Colin Moran. Makes the throw to Osana, and Mike Trout does score. You can see there. Very easy play. So LA now goes up 2-0, and my pitching score has gone down very fast, and that's not what I wanted, and that's not what you want to go into, obviously. So Trevor Williams has struggled this first inning, and there's only one away. So there's still one runner in scoring position. First pitch, ball. And this is Cole Calhoun, and I believe I've seen some people with Cole Calhoun, so let's actually take a look and see if we can find him. Oh, Bob. Oh, there we go, Cole Calhoun. So if Cole Calhoun gets on base, which with Pittsburgh's pitching looks like he might, then Yote Bob will actually get a bingo, a horizontal. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Very, very inside fastball there. 2-0 the count. So, Trout has one, Marte has one, and Calhoun can get Yote Bob a bingo, which would be his second bingo of the day. Again, he is ranked third overall right now with a score of 11, but that horizontal bingo, I believe, is worth 1.1 times, so it'll be interesting to see if he actually gets that, if he actually moves up in the boards or not. So, let's keep an eye on that as Calhoun takes that 3-0 count now. So Calhoun is up in the count, and Trevor Williams is struggling to get control of the strike zone right now with one away. So LA will need a great double play here, and hopefully they do not walk Calhoun. Ooh, low fastball, 92 miles an hour, and they are going to say that is a ball just too low, and they're going to walk him. So LA is up 2-0, has two on base. There's only one away, and Albert Pujols is up at bat. Pujols, though, only has a 238 average with a 728 on base percentage, but 18 home runs on the year. So Yote Bob has the bingo now with Calhoun, Marte, and Trout with a score of 11 and ranked third. So let's see how high they jump now in the board. And look at that, Yote Bob is now first. So they've gone from 11 to 12.85 just from that one bingo, off two bingos now. And I am severely struggling. I am currently 90th out of 90. So I am last place, actually, which is not awesome at all. And I think that is because I might be the only person who actually picked Pittsburgh as the pitching. So that would answer that question. Why? Because I think there's no way anybody else would have Pittsburgh if that was the case. Because the scores would be still somewhat close. So I must be the only person who actually picked Pittsburgh as the pitcher. And I'm willing to take that loss. Yeah, LA. LA, yeah. So I believe that I'm the only person who's actually picked Pittsburgh to get the win here. And again, I know I was being a little optimistic. Pittsburgh has got about 10 wins less than LA. And LA would be normally a team that I would go with, but I figured that Pittsburgh would kind of ride that high wave that they had last week or yesterday of beating LA, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like LA is still fighting for this game. So that is going to significantly change up the board. And again, it looks like it's going to be a terrible game for me. So I'm unfortunately going to have to just deal with this. And as you can see, the defense of Pittsburgh has slightly shifted over to the left against Pujols. So that would just mean that he likes to swing a little bit early. So when the ball makes contact, it's sending it further down towards the left side of the field. Here's another pitch. So Pujols can give me another point, but again, it's going to be pretty irrelevant just because of the score at this point. And there's a shot down to the gap between right center field, and another run will score, and LA has gone up 3-0 now, and this game looks like it's going to be over very, very fast, unfortunately. And I mean unfortunately for myself, not so much the Angels or Pittsburgh, because I mean, they get paid either way. I'm trying to win money too, and I'm clearly not. I made the mistake of going with Pittsburgh when I should have gone with LA. But when I was looking at the numbers, you look at a lot of the batting averages, and it's too appealing to not go with Pittsburgh with those batting averages. And so that's what I did. And unfortunately, I did get one bingo, but it's not enough at this point. I am clearly, I'm done. Like, I'm not even concerned about the board anymore, because with -12, I'm not going to come back. So Trevor Williams has allowed 3 runs in this first inning. There's runners now on first and third, and still only 1 out. So this is the kind of situation where they typically will pull the pitcher in the first inning. Now, I've seen it happen before when they've let 4 or 5 runs, they'll usually pull a pitcher. So they are just at that, and there is a deep pop-up, and that is caught by Kevin Newman, the shortstop, and that holds the runners. So there's now 2 away. So this is a very, very long inning for Pittsburgh. And I think this is something that Trevor Williams did not want, and this is definitely something that I didn't want either. But Luis Renfroe is up now with a .243 average, a .689 on-base percentage, and 4 home runs. And let's see if we can find somebody with Renfroe, because I know I did not choose him. Renfroe. Nobody seems to have. He is fairly low on the batting chart, and again in past experience. Oh, there we go, right there, Renfroe. But doesn't really do much for them. But we can just watch the board anyways. Ooh, and there's a strike. So that's strike 2. Again, Renfroe has a .243 batting average. There is 2 away, 2 on base. So if Trevor Williams can end the inning here and get out with leaving 2 runners on base and at least try to control the bleeding, I think that'll be good enough. And Pittsburgh just needs to get back on offense and actually do something and make some noise. Ooh, and there it is, strike 3, and Trevor Williams gets the K, and that ends the inning, and LA leaves 2 runners on base, but the damage is done. And LA scores 3 runs in that inning. And as we go back to the board, we can clearly see how much of a pain in the butt that is going to be for me. I am at -7 now. I was at -12, so I'm at -7. So this is where I need Pittsburgh to really start to come alive. Pittsburgh at this point needs to get points. The reality is I'm expecting too much from Pittsburgh's pitching at this point, and I don't think that they're actually going to be capable of that at this point. So, but again, we will have to kind of wait and see how this all plays out. But if we go back and see who else is on the board, I am now 69th overall. So I've gone up from 90th to 69 just in that one little play. So I will take that. But I am still about 10 points back of Yoke Bob. Yoke Bob, who does have a very aggressive LA Angels board set up, which is what my board should have looked like, and maybe I would have been in first place too, but clearly it wasn't, and that is on me. So I will take that, unfortunately. But let's see who else has what and who on board. Right, so Brit BBB, whatever. See, Pujols, again, LA's pitching is only at -1, where I am -7. So even if I want to get out of that, I will need a clean 3 up, 3 down with strikeouts inning to get back into, I believe, even just a positive point. So asking a lot out of the Pittsburgh pitching. So we need to go here, and we need to do this, and do this. There we go. In the first pitch of the second inning, 93-mile-an-hour fastball called strike. So Griffin Canning, I should have gone with Griffin Canning so very much now. Ooh, and they're going to call that one a ball. Count is 1-1. So Jose Osana is up, has a 311 average with a 970 on-base percentage, 8 home runs this season. So let's just see who has him. So I know I have Osana. Ooh, and there's a strike and a high fastball, 93 miles an hour. Yo, Bob, do they have Osana? No, they do not. Nope. The 1-2 pitch. Ooh, and he pops it up. And Canning is there. And Canning gets the out. And that is 1 away. So that's unfortunate for me on many levels. But again, I think this game for me is kind of a write-off now. But Kevin Newman is coming up. As you can see, great awareness by Canning to get under the ball as fast as he did. And again, I do have Newman on my board. So Newman does have a 304 average with a 769 on-base percentage and 7 home runs. And that one is low, breaking ball in the dirt. So Newman, again, would be great if he could give me some points here and kind of set me up as we go into the later half of the batting order. 88-mile-an-hour slider, strike 1. Count is 1-1. But let's see who has Newman. Ooh, and there it goes. A short drive into right center field. And Mike Trout can't get a handle on it. Ooh. And Newman gets the double out of that. So that is going to be huge for my board. We'll see who else changes. So again, if you take a look, I am 7.4. I go up to 9.4, and I only go a few more. My rank only goes up very slightly, but my score does go up 2 points off that double. So that is huge. So now I have set myself up to kind of get, well, not to kind of, but I could get a bingo either vertically if Osana did something, but we will have to wait for the batting order to go through, or with Reynolds in the horizontal, because realistically getting the diagonal with the Pittsburgh pitching will not happen for a while, I don't imagine. I mean, I could be wrong. Optimistically, I would like to be wrong, but we will see. So, 1 away. Jacob Stallings is on. Stallings has a 284 average, 789 on-base percentage, and 4 home runs. Now, with him, I actually had somebody else. I forget who it was. It might have been Reynolds, question mark? No, it wasn't Reynolds. Yeah, it was Josh Bell. I was debating between Josh Bell and Jacob Stallings because Bell has a 286 average. So they were very comparable, but Bell being the better overall player, I wanted to go with him because I was hoping for a little bit more, so playing against the numbers somewhat. But Stallings would have been good just for the simple fact of breaking up the batting order a little bit, because typically what happens, for myself at least, is a lot of the times I'll end up, and there's a drive to deep right field at the warning track, but Trout is there for the out. So Stallings blasts it out to deep center field, gets an out, but the runner will advance. So Pittsburgh does have one runner in scoring position at third with 2 away, and Pablo Reyes is up to bat. Now, the problem is, and again, I don't want to focus too much on the numbers, but we have to look at the numbers. Like, that's just part of this game. Pablo Reyes has a batting average of 183 with a 534 on-base percentage and 2 home runs. So, ooh, you're going to call that one a strike? Okay. 95-mile-an-hour strike, low and just outside. Now, Reyes isn't going to typically be the guy that's going to send it deep. But as we've mentioned before, mathematical, statistical improbabilities become highly probable when you're dealing with a high number of variables and such a large sample size. So, if Reyes can get on base, that would be huge for Pittsburgh just to get 1 score. And there is a short hopper to the second baseman, tosses it to Trout, and that is an easy out, and that ends the inning. So after 1.5 innings, so that was a great play. LA is still up 3-0, and again, this could be a very, very long game for me. So if we go back, we can check the board. I'm 89th place now, but Denver hit is first place with 3 bingos already so early in the game. And they have, who else do they have? They have Moran, Bell, Reynolds, which I believe got them one. Marte, Trout, Stassi. Stassi I don't think has done it, but Pujols, Otani definitely did. So I think if you had chosen LA, you would have done really well regardless today, but I made the mistake of not choosing LA. So that one is on me, and I'm going to have to take that, unfortunately. But we can see who else is up there. Again, 22.15 points with 3 bingos. I have 8.4, and I am not last place, but I am sure way closer than I would like to be. Cordella is last with 7, and so Cordell is just missing players. Brian Goodwin is actually a really good player to have if you actually do ever use LA. But he wasn't playing today, so we won't see him. So he is actually eligible for a bingo. If Frazier gets 1, then he would get 2. He would get the diagonal as well as the horizontal one here. So that would be interesting to see how far they go up once Frazier comes through the lineup. But I don't know when exactly that will be. Might not be for a while. So Max Stassi, I believe, will be up first. So let's see. So this is my board. Pittsburgh pitching is -7. And so this is the problem. When you give up so many runs so fast, it just completely kills your board. So if Pittsburgh all of a sudden starts pitching very well, and maybe we get some outs, like strikeouts. Oh, and there's a blast to shallow center field, but Starling Marte is there for the catch, and that is 1 away, and that is what Pittsburgh needs. Pittsburgh needs to get out of the inning as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we are going back to the start of the lineup now with David Fletcher, who again is 1 for 1 with a 279 average and 5 home runs on the year. So David Fletcher, who I did replace on my board as well, who I really wish I hadn't, is up. Low fastball, 92 miles an hour. Ball 1. And we can actually see who does have David Fletcher. Denver hit. Do you have David Fletcher? You do not have David Fletcher. Yoke Bob has David Fletcher. Yes, David Fletcher is right there. So again, a lot of these people who are up in the lead don't necessarily have a lot of points on the board because they have cashed those in for bingos already. And we will have to be able to find somebody who is there. But again, a lot of people who have Fletcher are not going to cash. I mean, it's close enough. So I'm not even going to pronounce that. Clettaggg. And there is ball 4. And ridiculously, Trevor Williams walks another batter. Why? Why? Okay, so Fletcher is obviously going to get them 1.5 points here, so they will have a potential bingo with Kevin Newman here, and then they will have to wait on that one. But Marte Ohtani will be coming up soon, and there again, so Mike Trout is back up. So again, we're stuck in this tough position of having Trout on our board, but then having our pitcher have minus 8.5 points. But I think for me at this point, I would take Mike Trout getting the -1. Going down to 0, and then my pitching being at I think minus 6.5, and then obviously getting the last strikeout of the inning, I believe, is worth 5 points. So that would put me at -1 then. Ooh, tight inside, ball 1. Mike Trout on the year, 39 home runs, just a beast of a player. And Mike Trout doesn't do much for me because of the point situation. And fouls that one away, but we will see who does. Mike Trout, again, like I said, a lot of these players are who are in the league don't have a lot of point build-up just because they've used those points on bingos. So when you get a bingo, it does clear the board. That's weird that they don't have. Like Trout, it's close but not quite. Ooh, and he fouls away again. So Mike Trout, right there again, Cole Calhoun waiting. So again, like a lot of these people are just waiting to get points based on Trout, but he's not really. A lot of these points have already been collected. Trout's right there. We can't get the bingo. So, and again, this is still very early days. So, Mike Trout, where are you? Trout digs it out of the ground to deep center field at the warning track. And that is an easy catch by Marte. And that will hold the runner at first. So that is 2 away right now with Mike Trout on the fly out to deep center field. So we can go see if that puts me, nope, still 8.5, minus 8.5. So I'm screwed regardless. Like I said, this is, I mean, the reality is LA's offensive firepower is too great for a Trevor Williams or anybody else that Pittsburgh has in their bullpen to actually overtake them and get a bunch of Ks. You know, I'm going to need 10 strikeouts now just to get some points, and it's too much of it. It's too much to overcome. So my board is over. It's a waste. So made the mistake of going with Pittsburgh, even though it is only 3-0. Even with a huge offensive return, my pitching won't be able to recover, and that's going to be the downfall for the rest of my board for the rest of my game. So, I mean, it's over in that regard. But Ohtani is up. Again, 1 for 1 on the night, 291 average on the day, or on the year, sorry. But Ohtani again here, but can't do them much with the point situation. Can add points for me though in that regard. Let's see. Ohtani, nope. Mariel Ohtani, nope. Fouls that one away. Let's see, Adam. Adam was in first place earlier in the game. Nope. Ohtani, man. See, this is the hard part. It's like finding players who have the player that you're looking for is so difficult, and it's so because you know you don't know who they're picking and what they're going for. But like I said, Ohtani had such a high batting average that I figured more people would have him. And there's a deep drive to left field, and that's a dive, but that is just fair. And just gets the ball now, and ooh, and they just hit Ohtani with the ball. but a wild pitch, and that is good for a triple. Oh my gosh, David Fletcher scores. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. So this is a triple. I mean, okay. So again, my pitching is a minus 11.5 points. But Otani and my bottom center does have 9 points for me as well. So I actually need Osuna. Jose Osuna. I don't know. I need that guy in my bottom left corner. I need him to really do something now. I need him to get a home run, and then I will get 2 bingos. And I mean, it won't overcome the overall problems that I have, but at least it'll make a bit of a dent, getting some bingos, getting some multipliers, especially with that 9 points that Otani has now. So that's huge. And obviously, if Otani scores, that would be like even bigger. So then I would get 10 points out of Otani, which would be huge. Again, it's when you're down on pitching this badly, it's almost impossible to overcome it. You know, this is just, I mean, I'm at the position with Williams that it's a lost cause. Like in 2 innings, like I can't make up that kind of deficit now, right? So after 2 innings, I'm not going to make that deficit up for the rest of the game. Like, it's absurd. Like this is the biggest downside if you pick the wrong team and they just blow the game right off the bat. And that's the thing. It's like LA is up 4-0. They haven't, or not, like Pittsburgh hasn't really blown the game. But with the way the scoring is, if you're on the wrong side of that, you know, you don't have the right bingos, you are screwed. And I am screwed today. Like, that's just, I mean, that's the only answer. So this is going to be a very short game. So, but Justin Upton is up. He is over 1 on the day, 212 average, 701 on base percentage with 7 home runs. And I do believe that this might be Williams' last inning, because I can't. Ooh, and that one is fouled away and almost goes into the dugout. But I do believe that this will be Williams' last inning, because I can't see them keeping him in there and actually making a difference. And this is very, very... okay. So, and there is a drive to deep left field, and that is an easy catch for Reynolds. And that ends the inning. So that now, we are now sitting in the end of the second. So we're going to go into the top of the third, and LA is up 4-0 over Pittsburgh. And this is not the game that anybody had in mind, specifically myself and Pittsburgh, because I am down 8.5 points now, which really just sucks. Like, it sucks. And but I've moved up. I have 11.4 points. I am in 79th place, which is better than 90th. And Yoke Bob is still in first with 26.95 points. And as you can see on the board, they are lining up a very, very strong bingo with Fletcher, Otani, and Pujols. So if they get that bingo, they're just going to completely control the rest of their lead significantly. Okay, so we can look again. Osuna. I don't know. We need him because, again, Newman has won, Marte has won, Trout has won. Not a lot of points, but if we just get like a double maybe, and it's just going to add them all up, and then with Otani's 9, it'll get us into a better position than where we're at. Like, if we can finish in the top half, in the top, like the top 40, the top 30, that's going to be considered a win at all today. But as I mentioned before, digging ourselves out of this hole is going to be the hard part. And you can just look around and see there's a few other people. Reynolds, if they get Reynolds on base, right, there's another bingo there. so we can see support. So again, missing players, but you know, obviously with LA, you're not digging yourself out of a hole like I am. So that's kind of the good thing for them. But Adam Frazier is up, and I do not have Frazier on my board. Where is Frazier? So Frazier, so we are at the top of the lineup. Frazier has a 265 batting average, 0 for 1 on the day, and 6 home runs. Ooh. There we go. Strike one. So let's see if somebody has Frazier. Ooh. High changeup, 1-1. Let's see. Frazier right there. Boom. Okay, but doesn't do anything for them. Let's see if we can find somebody who has Frazier in a critical position. Ooh, and there's a drive just fouled away. Game sung 141. This is the first time I've seen them up, and they're in 4th place right now with 2 bingos. So I wonder which bingos they got. It might have been diagonal, I suppose. Ooh. That is a low inside curveball. 2-2 the count. Who am I looking for again? Oh, I'm looking for Frazier. That's right. And again, Frazier does not seem to be coming up. Ooh, and he gets a piece of it to left field, and that will be good for a base hit. So Frazier gets on base with a base hit, and Brian Reynolds is now up on base, or up to bat. Boom. Just hops. Just a nice 2-hopper to left field, and Justin Upton was there. So Brian Reynolds is up now. And Reynolds is on my board, and Reynolds could give me a bingo. Now that being said, that's not the bingo I want. So I'm kind of put in a tough situation of, yes, I want him to get on base, but that bingo will actually detract from the double bingo that I could potentially get, especially the one with Ohtani, which would be huge. And they check the runner. But Brian Reynolds, 0 for 0, no at-bats today, but does have a 333 average with a 936 on-base percentage and 12 home runs on the year, so definitely a threat. So we will see if this bingo is able to come true or not. Hopefully he can go deep. Again, the biggest thing for me at this point is I just have to try to overcome the pitching deficit, which will be next to impossible, but again, there are very different, significantly different, like mathematical improbabilities that can become highly probable. And I say that a lot, but that's because it's true with baseball. Ooh. And you know what? They might just walk him. And if they walk him, I'll still get the bingo, but it won't be the exact... Oh, wow. Look at this person's board. So D-Tag's board is set up for multiple bingos. And if Newman is able to do something about it, which I don't think we'll see Newman until the next inning, but if the LA pitching can get on board and... wow, that would be huge for them. And there's popped up right into left field, into the gap, and it falls into the gap just fair, and that will be good for a base hit. So Brian Reynolds gets on base, and his batting average will go up to 335 now. So that was a great shot right between Matt Diaz and Justin Upton, and they had to make a decision on who was actually going to get that, and they could not make that decision. As you can see here, so Diaz goes deep for it, and Upton comes down, and it falls right between them, and that will be good for a base hit, and it is just foul. So there, I have my bingo now. I am up to 12.85 points, even though I'm fighting a deficit of minus 8.5 points. So you have to remember where that would put me. That would give me about 21 points, right? So 21 points, I would be sitting comfortably in 6th or 7th. So that's something to be aware of. And that's the issue of overcoming a pitching deficit as one that I have, which, in all honesty, I haven't had a pitching deficit this severe in a very long time. But Starling Marte is up 1-for-1 on the day, 287 average, 827 on base percentage, and 20 home runs. And I actually forgot. Yes, I do have Marte on my board, but doesn't really do much for me at this point. Marte does. Oh, nope, still can't do nothing for Yope Bob. Yope Bob. Marte again, waiting on the LA pitching. C-tag. Marte. Oh, they could get a bingo here. So, Clee-tag. Oh, and Marte drives one to deep right field. And Cole Calhoun is there for the catch, so that is going to be the easy out. But the runners will tag up. And second will move on to third. So with the, Marte flies out to Cole Calhoun in right field, but Adam Frazier does get to third base. So Pittsburgh now has one runner in scoring position, and that is exactly what they need. They need to get people back home. So, top of the third, one out, runners on first and third. Josh Bell is up. Let's see, do I have Bell? I don't think I have Bell. No, so Marte. So actually, that's going to change that up because Marte did get fly out. So Josh Bell is on my board as well. Doesn't really do much for me because, again, when you lose the ability to score points through the center cube or tile, it makes the game much harder to actually win. You could win, but it's very, very hard. Usually you need to get the diagonal bingos to actually make significant gains in points. So something to be aware of. And like I said, it's just, you can get caught in a very unlucky situation like I am right now. There's Bell, but won't do much. And pops it up again into that gap. And Justin Upton can't make the catch, and that will be good. And one run will score. Oh, and that is good for a double, and they missed the throw again. Oh my gosh, so a second run will score, and Pittsburgh goes up. Oh my gosh, so Josh Bell, unbelievably off two errors, gets a triple. And Bell is on my board and gets 2 RBIs in the process, and Pittsburgh scores 2 runs, and Pittsburgh is back in this game. And very instantly, just like that, you can see my rank has jumped all the way up to 7th place, even with the deficit, because 2 runs have scored. And you can see, so there's the throw, and misses the throw at second, and throws it all the way, and then... Oh my goodness, and then Cole Calhoun can't get a hold of it. And that allows, oh my goodness. Okay, so that was huge. There was multiple errors in that play, which allowed Pittsburgh to get those 2 runs. And again, there's only one away with one runner on third, and Colin Moran is up on base, or up to bat, with a 280 batting average and 11 home runs. So this game can change very fast. As you can see, I've been hanging out in the bottom half of this board, but now off of 2 runs, I am back in the game with 7th. And there's a drive to deep right field at the warning track. And Cole Calhoun drives it in, and that'll be good for a double by Moran. And that's going to change this board up even more significantly. And ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a ball game right now, and this is exciting. But we need to be careful because obviously the way that LA is putting up points, this could be a very, very long game for everybody. And just out of the reach of Albert Pujols. Great hit by Moran. And I am now in 6th place with a score of 20.5, and I have 3 bingos now, as you can see. So Asuna, he is up. He is on my board. Again, he was the guy that we were kind of waiting to get those bingos, but we instead got 2 bingos a different way. So that is very cool. But if you take a look at the board, how vastly it's changed. Denver Hit is still up, and I'm still 9 points back, but 9 points is a lot closer than 20. So I personally thought we were out of this game, but then Pittsburgh, like I said, these things happen, and Pittsburgh comes right back into the game, 3-4, and I am back up into the top 10 of Ranking Ball. So just, imagine what I would do if Pittsburgh's pitching just started to catch up a little bit. Like, it doesn't even need to be a lot. Like, if Pittsburgh just pitched a clean inning, no runs, no hits, no on base, none of that, and maybe one strikeout, I mean, my points would go so much higher, I think. Well, not that I think they would, but we need to wait until that inning comes and kind of hope for that. But again, we are only in the top of the third, and there's only one away with one runner at second right now. So let's actually go back. Linsung 89, who is up right now? Usana. And Usana pops it up into right center field, but Mike Trout is there for the easy out. And that's not what we needed. And that holds the runner at second as well. Again, still in sixth. And Kevin Newman is up. So Newman, nope. So Kevin Newman is on my board, so that would be huge. Again, just to get points at this point is kind of critical. So you want to get as many points as you can when you're down like this, even if you can't get that center bingo. Just want to create opportunities for yourself. So Kevin Newman, not on here. Let's look who has Newman. Wow. See, a lot of points here, But you can see LA's pitching is at -9 right now. So a lot of these players, who have LA's pitching as well are in the same position I am. -10, right? So that's even more than I have. But again, still early. We'll have to go through the next inning to kind of see what happens. And they pop it up, and Pujols is there for the easy out. So that will end the inning. So LA gets out of the inning, and Canning Griffin gives up 3 runs off multiple errors. Not the inning that LA wanted or had in mind. And nor did I think that was actually necessarily possible, but I will take it. So let's go back to the board and kind of see what's going on. So as you can see, I've dropped down to 11th now, but Denver Hit has gone up with 32.5. And again, it's really because the pitching gets them out. So once you get out of the inning, your pitching will get a few more points, kind of regardless. So I think that's how it works. I'm not actually 100% sure. But that's what happened there. So we will see kind of how the pitching for Pittsburgh goes now at the end of this game. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see who's actually last place right now. Not going to pronounce the name, but missing players. But they do have one bingo count with 5 points total right now. Yeah, they look like they're in not the best position either. That's unfortunate. But again, that can completely change if LA's pitching just does differently. But as I've mentioned before, I believe I am the only person who has picked Pittsburgh as the pitcher. So that's kind of puts me in a very unique situation. Because I haven't seen anybody else choose Pittsburgh. Let's see. Yeah, I think I might be the only person who actually chose Pittsburgh, which makes the game definitely a lot more interesting, I would say. There we go. Cole Calhoun is up. So Williams is still in the game. Again, 5.31 ERA. Ooh, and that is a ball. Low and inside. So we are in the middle of the lineup right now. And again, Calhoun is 235 on the year. But, oh man, another ball. Okay, okay. Well, Trevor Williams, it'd be great if you could get a couple strikeouts here. Maybe get the pitching score out of the dirt. Like, how terrible is that got to feel when you're pitching? And you're like calling up your family and you're telling everybody, hey, I'm going to pitch a game, check it out. And then you give up 4 runs like that and just completely demolish my board. I mean, I'm still kind of in it, but like I said, I mean, if LA scores any more points, you know. Oh my gosh, get Trevor Williams out of the game. He just walked another one. Okay, so as you can see on my board now, I am minus 10 points, and I've dropped down to from 11th to 28th place because of Trevor Williams walking somebody again. It's like all he can do is walk people and allow runs. Like at this point, Trevor Williams needs to get out of the game. Like, he should not be in the game. It's very simple. Like, oh my gosh. Because I need strikeouts. Because the only way to dig myself out of this hole is with strikeouts, and I'm not getting them right now. Okay. I will take that. Slider, strike 1. So again, Pujols is on my board. We will see who else is up there, because he should be very popular, I would imagine. But he is in the middle of the count and does only have a 235 average. So, oh my gosh, so Yoke Bob would be able to really take control here if anything happens with Pujols. So again, Pujols is 1 for 1, 240 average, 730 on base percentage, and 18 home runs. And I hope he strikes out so bad here, but the count is 2-1. Come on, throw something good. Not that. That's not what I wanted at all. So this is the problem right now. Albert Pujols is up in the count so far, and we will see. The 2-1 pitch is in the dirt, so that's ball 3 now. And again, there is no outs either, and that's going to be huge because, like, we've talked about this before. It's when you get that leadoff batter, it is so critical to get that out, and it sets the tone for the inning. And Trevor Williams walks him. Like, doesn't even try to get into the strike zone. Like like watching him, it seems like Williams is scared to throw in the strike zone. Ooh, and there is a very good sinker. So now the count is 3-2. So Pujols with the full count, 3-2. But it doesn't look like Williams has the pitch, I don't know, ability to actually do something here. Come on, you're just scared to throw it in the strike zone. Get him out of there. Seriously, this is a bunch of crap. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I am falling very fast back through the boards, and there we go. Thank you. Pittsburgh's manager is coming out to talk to him. And hopefully Trevor Williams is done. Get him out of the game. Because seriously, if you want to win this game, your offense is starting to click and you're starting to get some runs in there. Get him out of there. Come on, just pull him. Just, like, he doesn't need to be in there. Like, he's I guess they're leaving him in there. Calhoun's laughing because he thinks it's hilarious. Because this guy is super easy to hit on. I mean like baseball hit on, like, you know what I mean. Don't be weird about this. So, Pittsburgh behind 3-4, 4-3, however you want to see it. Bottom of the third. There is no outs. Runners on base at first and second. I met Diaz. Fouls that one away. Strike one. Like, even if Trevor Williams gets 3 strikeouts here, I might be in the positive points at that point. I mean, that would at least give me closer to like a -3, -2, I think, in pitching. But when you're minus 11.5 points, like, that is a huge deficit to overcome. Ooh, low and a little inside, but they're going to call that one a strike, and I will take it. And it is 0-2 for Diaz. Diaz, who again is 0-1 on the day with a 194 average and 5 home runs on the year. And if you look, they are warming up the bullpens because they know that Williams will not be in the game much longer. In fact, I don't think Williams should be on the team much longer for that fact, because this is killing me right now. Diaz, ooh, and that is strike 3, and that is exactly what I needed. And you will see my points jump a little bit up. I think by 2 points maybe, because that strikeout is huge. So Louis Renfroe will be coming up, and there we go. Yeah, 2 points. So I will take it. So again, I've gone from 40th to 22nd because the point spread is so tight right now. That only a few points can make a huge difference. A huge difference. So Renfroe is 0-1 on the day, 242 average, and 4 home runs on the year. And I'm hoping that he goes 0-2 because of a strikeout. Let's go. Let's go. See if we can find somebody with him on the board. Ooh, and there's a fastball. Strike 1. Renfroe. Somebody's got to have him, right? I mean, 242 average? I don't think so. I mean, I didn't put him on my board. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Strike 2 on a changeup. Let's see. Somebody maybe way down here. Barney, 009. Does not have him either. Come on. Somebody's got to have him. Like, this is crazy, right? It's hard to find, like, because you have to keep going through all the boards and try to find people. Yeah, man, that sucks to have. You got the bingo there, but Gonzalez isn't playing. Ooh, and there's popped up in center field, but that is going to be good for a base hit. Another run will score for LA. So LA now comes up 5 runs in the first 3 innings with only 1 away, and that's going to screw me over again. So I went from 22nd back down to 53rd because of that base hit. And Renfroe was so close to being out with 2 strikes. And you can see that Starling Marte, or no, sorry, Cole Calhoun was completely committed as soon as he left second to go home. Oh my gosh. Okay, seriously, Paul Williams, because I like, the game is still close enough that I have a chance, but not with Williams on the mound. Foul, just foul. So Max Stassi, 0-1 on the day, 148 average and 1 home run. Not really a threat, but I do believe a few people had him on his boards. And again, you can see how vast this board can change with just a couple points. Let's see. There's Stassi right there. Boom. But can't do anything about it. Stassi. Nope. Can't do anything about it. Oh, Zerling. Haven't seen this person before. Stassi. Nope. And there gets a piece of it. And there's the 1 run at boom, double play. Look at that. And that is now 3 away. And so that will end the inning off a double play from Kevin Newman to Adam Frazier. So that was a great way to finish the inning. So LA does score 1 run, but hopefully that's going to be Trevor Williams' last inning after allowing 5 runs. And I'm still back minus 9.5 points though. So I am 32nd overall with a score of 20.55. And you can see, like I said, how difficult it's going to be to score points if you can't get that diagonal. Because it puts you in, like I would have 2 bingos. Yeah, I would have 2 bingos right now if I had that middle board, but I don't. Forget the diagonals at this point. But let's see what the board is. So I have 20.55 points. I am 32nd overall. Yoke Bob has 35.15 points in first place. And you can see LA's pitching is -6. So depending on how this inning goes offensively for LA is kind of going to determine the rest of the game, I think. If Pittsburgh responds to LA, because LA has scored a run in every single inning this game so far, so that's something that Pittsburgh obviously is aware of and needs to be able to respond. So you came back, you were close, you were 1 run down, now you're 2 runs down. LA is showing that they have that offensive firepower. You have to be able to come back. And as a result, if Pittsburgh is able to come back, we should have a very, very interesting ball game, because that means both teams' pitchings, in terms of ranking ball, are going to be way down. So as you can see on Yo Bob, who is first place, his pitching score is -6. So that will go down even more if they start allowing runs as well. Much like mine is. And so having Pittsburgh in a negative scoring position will mean very little, because my rank will still climb because of the offensive production that Pittsburgh will have, and just the drop of score from all the other players. So we will have to see. Griffin Canning is still pitching. Again, 4.92 ERA. He's pitched 3 innings so far. He's at 64 pitches on the night, and he will be done, I would assume, in the next inning, or he might get another inning and a half. But we will have to see. I think they'll probably pull him in the 5th, I would imagine. Yeah, I'd say it's the 5th, because we're in the 4th. Oh, we're in the top of the 4th. Maybe halfway through the 6th, actually. Halfway through the 6th, they should pull him, I think. I think he'll be... Ooh, and that is a very, very high curveball. So 1-0. Jacob Stallings is up. Stallings has a 282 average, 0 for 1 on the day, 4 home runs. And we will see if we can find somebody who has Stallings on their board. Don't think Yo Bob does. Yo Bob has a very conservative board, typically. Ooh, and there's a high fastball. Strike 1. Who are we? Stallings, right there. Stallings, but again, doesn't do much. So it is hard to find that. Ooh, there's Stallings, but again, doesn't do much. Waiting for Trout on that one. But it's interesting when you're looking at these boards and how everybody is affected by such negative pitching. And there goes a drive to right center field. But Cole Calhoun is there for the out. And that's 1 away. So Jacob Stallings, who again is not on my board, so not too, doesn't really bother me. But I think it's Pablo Reyes is now up. Reyes is 0 for 1 on the day, 180 average, 2 home runs on the year. Again, I don't think we're going to have anybody who has Reyes on their board, so that one I might not necessarily look for. Again, ooh, I think that might be a strike. Waiting on the call. And they're calling that one they're going to call that one a strike. So, third base, or not the third base, the first base umpire. So the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, okay. So it's interesting to see how this umpire, again, we've talked about this before, but that little square that is supposed to represent the strike zone is a very fluid concept and not at all the actual strike zone or what the umpire sees. Oh my goodness, come on. Why are you chasing that? That is why you have a 180 batting average, because you go chasing the most ridiculous throws out there. Are you kidding me? That was so low and outside, and you still go and try to get it. Like, watch this. Like, okay, that was strike 2. So again, strike 2 I didn't agree with necessarily either. But strike 3, like, come on. And so I think with that one is strike 2. When you're up at bat, when you're at bat, you see where strike 2 is, and you're like, okay, so if he's going to call strikes in that area, I have to go after balls that end up in that area. Otherwise, I'm going to take that strike. So I think that's what he did. But that was just, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am actually like, okay, so I normally wouldn't want to question. I normally would not want to question an umpire's decision, but like his strike zone is so wide. Like that is like that's absurd. Like this is I'm not going to go as far as saying that this game is rigged, but that is like his strike zone is so like. Do you know what like a pair looks like? Where it's just like that's what his strike zone looks like. Oh my gosh. Okay. And that one's fouled away. All right. So Adam Frazier, we're at the top of the lineup now, so we can actually look and see if somebody has Frazier and in what position. And again, I have dropped significantly because of that strikeout. So LA's pitching is doing a lot better now, and they do have 2 away, and the count is 2-2. So this could be a quick 3 up, 3 down inning. And if that's the case, then that looks like that could be the low in the dirt. 3-2 full count against Adam Frazier. Let's see, who has Frazier? Frazier, come on. Someone show me Frazier. Frazier? Nope. Frazier right there, boom. But doesn't do anything for them. Ooh, and gets a piece of it, but that is fouled away again to that left field. And there you see that young man right there has got a great souvenir, something that is always fun to get. But I'm always impressed by people who catch it one-handed. Like those people are like, what is it? There's that guy a few weeks ago. He caught the ball one-handed with a baby in the other hand, and it's like, that's crazy. Because if you miss that, ooh, and they're going to call that ball 4. So again, as I mentioned before, this umpire strike zone is all over the place because it's super tight up front. And then as soon as you get to the lower half of that strike zone, it widens out like that. So it's like, boom. So something to be aware of kind of as we go through the rest of the game and see if that consistency with his strike zone remains. Because when you're talking about umpiring, and again, I was an umpire, consistency, it doesn't necessarily matter what your strike zone is, but you have to be consistent. If you're going to call strikes here, you have to call them here for the rest of the game. Otherwise, you start moving it around, and it's you know. So let's keep an eye on that. But Brian Reynolds is up 1 for 1 on the day, 335 average, 940 on base percentage, 12 home runs, and that was strike 1. So Brian Reynolds, let's see who's on him. So Brian Reynolds could get us points, but again, doesn't really do much for us. Again, still 43rd overall, so gonna have to deal with that for a while. Okay. Brian Reynolds 0 for 2. Reynolds is not on Bob's board. I gotta remember who's on everybody's board, but I gotta tell you, that's hard to do. Reynolds is right here. Can't do much for them. Just gonna give them points. Reynolds again, just going to get them points. The 0-2 pitch. Ooh. Strike 3, and Griffin Canning is starting to come into it and able to bring down Reynolds, and Reynolds is now 0 for 2 and drops his batting average down by .001 to 334 on the year. And I will drop, I'm actually scared to check the ranking board right now because I am going to be dropping, I think I was up at, 30th or something at that point, or 40th? And now I'm 75th. Awesome. Because, and again, it's not because of anything that I have done or the player, I guess Reynolds kind of got me a minus right there. But it's really because everybody else has chosen LA as a pitcher. So I'm here with my standard points, and everybody who had, was within 1 or 2 points has now leapfrogged me based off of they've gotten out of that negative point score with their pitching, because Canyon Griffin had a phenomenal inning with 2 strikeouts. So all credit goes to Canyon Griffin on that one. And again, I have won ranking ball games with Canyon Griffin as my starting pitcher, so I know what he's capable of. And he did have a better ERA coming into the game compared to Trevor Williams. But like I said, when I saw the batting averages of Pittsburgh in comparison to LA, I just could not pass up on Pittsburgh. So I wanted to take the chance there in terms of my ranking ball board. And as you can see, it hasn't really paid off because the pitching has just been so atrocious in terms of, I mean, on both sides, but obviously less so for LA. Let's see. Oh, is that Ashton Eaton? No, that can't be. I don't know who that is. No, it's not. I don't know. So Ashton Eaton, if you don't know, Ashton Eaton is the two-time Olympic champion in the decathlon and the world record holder, I think. I don't remember. I don't know. I think he only won one Olympics. But he is the world record holder in the decathlon. So it looked like him, but I don't think that's him. Yeah. So Trevor Williams is still in the game, unfortunately, so we can look forward to a very tough inning for Pittsburgh and that now. Boom, and there is a shot to right center field and right in the gap, and that'll be good for a base hit. And Trevor Williams needs to get out of the mother freaking game because this is stupid now. Like, gosh. Okay. So Trevor Williams came into the game with a 5.06 ERA, and his ERA has skyrocketed up now to 5.35 on the year. So David Fletcher gets on base, and I have dropped even further, and I personally am now 83rd overall with Mike Trout up, and that is not good news because, again, Trout is 0 for 1, yes, but 294 batting average. Ooh, and a 1.1 on-base percentage, so that is huge, and 39 home runs. So if Mike Trout was going to take anybody deep, this would probably be the point in the story in which he does that, and that would not be great for my pitching score, but it would still add some points to my board. Ooh, and they are pitching away from him. So that is a ball on a fastball. Again, Trevor Williams does not seem to have the type of control that you want from a starting pitcher. And that being said, there's a very, very obvious reason why Pittsburgh has the record that they do have. Ooh. High fastball. But Trout smart enough, aware enough to not swing. So the count is 2-1. And that looks like a Make-A-Wish kid, so cheering on Mike Trout, I assume his favorite player. But wearing the LA jersey. Ooh, look at that. And that is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, low and outside, but Mike Trout goes for it. The count is 2-2. And if Trevor Williams strikes out Mike Trout, that would be huge for his confidence. But let's actually go back to the boards very quickly. Yo, Bob, where do you have Mike Trout? You have him in that top corner, so that would give him a bingo. So that would only increase his lead. So let's see what happens. If Mike Trout strikes out here, that would be phenomenal. But Trout pops it up to right field. Pablo Reyes is there, and that is the out. Great play, and way to, for Pittsburgh's defense to get out of that and to bail Trevor Williams out. Because let's be honest, Trevor Williams is not doing much. So, the thing is, it's honestly great to see kids at the ballpark. The unfortunate issue within the United States is that baseball is somewhat on the decline, and it's, there's a variety of reasons of that. One of the reasons is diaspora, however you want to pronounce it. And so that's one of the arguments of why baseball is kind of on the decline in the United States, at least. But it's great to see American kids, at the game, and it's those memories that they are going to build and that's going to continue the love of baseball in the United States and really carry the game on for the next 100, 200 years and beyond. So, or I guess the next 20, 30 years even, more immediately, let's say. So Ohtani is on and almost goes for it, but the third base ump says that is a ball. So Ohtani, 1-0 right now, but 2 for 2 on the night with a .294 average and 15 home runs. So let's see. So I believe, so again, I'm still 83rd overall. Ohtani, 9 points though. Yo Bob does have Ohtani, but won't do anything for him. And Ohtani gets a drive, and that is a 1 out at second. Oh, and safe at first. The throw is not in time. They get the out at second, but Ohtani still gets on base at first. Just in time, just safe. So Ohtani now on my board will go up to, I believe, 10.5 points. But let's see. So I'm at 83rd place, so let's just see if that brings me up at all. But the throw is not in time. Ohtani with again, as a designated hitter, Ohtani is a perfect example of somebody that you want. Consistent, high on base percentage, like willing to go after it, not necessarily get the home runs, but get on base, get runs scored, RBIs, things like that. That is what you need out of a designated hitter. And a lot of teams struggle with that. There's designated hitters out there, with low batting averages. I think, who was it? We did the game a few days ago, and their designated hitter, I forget who it was now, had a batting average of like 240 or something like that. And it's like, if your job is a designated hitter, you should be good at hitting. And if your batting average is under like a 280 or a 290, you need a new job. Like, it's that simple. And Ohtani is not going to get up in time to take advantage of that wild throw as they check the runner. But I am at 83rd place. I am still at 83rd. Oh, Ohtani, that did not update. That's interesting. So I don't know what happened there. So you can see here when they check the runner, the ball just slips out of his glove. And that's Jose Osuna. But by the time Ohtani realized it, it was too late. But Justin Upton is up right now. He is 0 for 2. Remember, there's 2 outs. And Upton fouls that one away down the left baseline. So let's see if somebody has Upton. Bop, bop, bop. Upton. Where's Upton? Nobody has Upton. It's he's 0 for 2, so it's not really like they're missing anything. I actually, personally, I do like Upton, Justin Upton. I do think he's actually a pretty good player. Clearly not good enough to be on my board, but I'm sure he's a good guy. I mean, I would hope he's a good guy. Not that matters. But Upton, where is Upton? Bang, come on. Seriously? I can't find anybody with Upton. No. Okay, you know what? Not up there. Fine. Done. We'll deal with it. Again, I am 83rd overall, but it is Pittsburgh's pitching that is doing that. But there is 2 away. So, Justin Upton, 0 for 2 on the day. The count is 0-2. And they check the runner, Ohtani, again. So, with 2 outs, I currently have minus 10.5 points because of Trevor Williams, who I very, very desperately want Pittsburgh to pull from the game already. Get the strikeout here. Nope. That is a ball. The count is now 1-2. Now, I'm no pitcher, but if I was me, I would... Okay, so here's the problem. Trevor Williams does not have the rocket arm that you might get out of some other pitchers. Like if you had somebody who could throw a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball, maybe even a 98, that would be great. But I would go with that high fastball personally. But again, we haven't seen that kind of speed out of him. And there's a high fastball right there. And that is popped up. And that is an easy out. And that looked like Kevin Newman. And that ends the inning. So Pittsburgh does not allow any runs, which is great. And we get out of the inning, and and you can see I went from 10.5 to 7.5, and that puts me in 68th place with a score of 21.55 with 3 bingos. Again, just trying to dig myself out of that hole is the hardest part of this game. So, yo, Bob, you can see I am now clearly well out of chance because LA's pitching had done such a phenomenal job that last inning that, their pitching is only -5, where I am still -7.5 points. So you add those 7.5 points, and it's a completely different game for me. Maybe I'm not in the lead still, but I'm definitely up there. But we can kind of see who else is in this position. So, LA's pitching gets 1 strikeout, and they're going to get the bingo. Yo Bob will get another bingo, which will be huge because Josh Bell does have 5 points, so that one would be actually quite big for them to get. And who else do we have? Oh, so I believe Marte will be up. Starling Marte, who's 1 for 2 on the day, 286 batting average, 20 home runs. Denver hit. Yeah. So again, they get 1 strikeout. That would be 2 points. So they're going to need more than 1 strikeout to get for Denver hit, but he will get that. He will get the vertical bingo as well. So you can see they're working on their 5th bingo, and I am only on my 3rd, or going on to my 4th. So already down in terms of that as well. And it looks like we have a new pitcher. So that is Taylor Cole. So Cole on the year has a 4.78 ERA this season, and he will be facing off against Starling Marte. And so Griffin Canning, so far, I mean, hasn't pitched a perfect game. Obviously allowed 3 runs to score, but again, majority of those were on errors. Did have a solid outing this year, or this game, pitching 4 innings. I think they would have wanted to go a little longer with him. Only got 80 pitches out of him. So I think they would have liked to go at least to the 6th inning with him. But unfortunately, that's just not how it goes sometimes. And we have Starling Marte, who is up. And I am very, very excited for this because I would like Marte to get some serious points. That would be phenomenal right now. Because after Marte, we have Bell, who is also on my board. Then Moran, who's been doing well. But we have to wait a while because we need Usana. But Usana might actually, as long as one of those players gets on base, we will be able to see Usana as well. Ooh, high, tight inside fastball. Marte goes for the bunt, and it looks like he took it on the hand. Oh my goodness. That is not good. And I can tell you, if you have ever had contact with a ball and a bat like that, that's a dangerous position to be in. Oh my gosh, did that just hit him? Where did that get him? Oh man. Yeah, you hate to see that. That is obviously not something that you want to see, but they are calling that a foul. So the count is 0-1 after you take a shot like that. That's got to hurt, just because, I mean, you're talking about the direct contact between the bat and a ball that's coming out. Which one? That came at 92 miles an hour. Right on a knuckle too. Oh, that's definitely one that's going to hurt for a while. And you're going to feel it. You're going to be very, very aware that you just took a shot. And you can see now Taylor Cole a little nervous to get back into that high and tight, and goes low and outside. So complete opposite. Ooh. And so that was a low changeup. So that's strike 2. The count is now 1-2. And we are relying on Marte for some points here. So as long as he does not strike out, he can pop, fly, and ground out, something like that. And it won't give anybody any negative points. Ooh, and there is a low breaking ball. And that one ends up in the dirt. So the count is 2-2. And you have to wonder, Taylor Cole now, after that first pitch, all 3 of his pitches after that first one have been low and outside. So you have to wonder if that first high and tight pitch kind of scared him away from it. You can see Marte is on Yo Bob's board. Ooh, fouled away. Let's see. Marte again. I'm looking for somebody who would have Marte, but in a good position to score. And again, you can see a lot of these people have actually cleared bingos. So it's hard to find somebody. Marte again, like they're going to get points on the board for sure, but you're not actually going to get any bingos. Yeah, like ooh, and Marte gets a piece of it, and that goes off to deep right field, and that'll be good for a base hit. So Marte gets on base, 2-2, able to get on base. So that is huge. Again, Pittsburgh needs to respond this inning to LA after holding them off. They need to be able to respond, and there's no outs right now, so that is huge. So after taking that shot but fouling that ball off, Marte is now on base on first. So went from 83rd to 60th. So like I said, we're talking about 2 points here, and they're like, again, the point spread is so tight right now. Ooh, Bell, that is a beautiful 94-mile-an-hour fastball by Taylor Cole. So who is this again? This is Josh Bell. So where's Bell? So Bell is right there. So man, Bell can get them so many points. That is just... Yo Bob is... If you ever want to copy a board, I would say copy Yo Bob's board, because he's usually pretty consistent. Wow. Okay. Slider. Strike 2. Josh Bell is 1-1 again for the day. 287 average. 30 home runs. Trying to find him on somebody's board before it's too late. Again, in the position where he can get points, but not actually... Ooh, fouls that one away down the left baseline. Let's see, who am I looking for again? Sorry, Josh Bell. Yeah, you know what? It might be actually kind of hard, like, because he's on the board. He's on people's boards, obviously, but to be in a position where we're gonna get bingos is hard to find. So. No, oh, there's there, but again, you can't get the bingo. So, shoot, that's not what I wanted. Bell, again, can't do anything for him. So we'll just leave it on mine for now. And they check the runner at first. So Bell is 0 for 2, or not 0 for 2. The count is 0-2. One runner on base. No outs. Josh Bell drives it to deep left center at the wall, and that one is gone, and Josh Bell, just like that, ties the game. Josh Bell saw the ball, said, "Let me get you back to your seat," and sends it deep. And Pittsburgh has tied this game 5-5. Oh my gosh. So, ladies and gentlemen, we again have a ball game. And as I mentioned before, Pittsburgh needed to answer LA's offensive production, and they have. Again, beating LA yesterday 10-2 must have given them a huge boost, and that is one of the reasons why I wanted to pick them. And you can see I am so glad I have Josh Bell on my board, but I need Pittsburgh's pitching to come back and actually start doing what they do best, and that's throwing strikeouts. So if we go back to the board now, I have skyrocketed up to 14th place with 32.55 points. As you can see, I need to get some bingos though, as I've got some points all around the board. And I'm only 15 points out of first place right now, but that is huge. And wow, what a change of events right there. So Colin Moran is up, so we can see who has Moran. because I know he's been a very popular player for a lot of teams. And Moran drives it down right into the gap into center field, and that will be good for a base hit. And like I said, just like that, Taylor Cole is starting to show signs that he is shaken. And I again have jumped the board. I am now in 12th place right now, and Usana is up. And as I mentioned before, we were kind of hoping Usana would have a big game, or a great chance actually to get some points for us this inning, and it looks like he is now in position to kind of set up some bingos for us. Again, 0-2 for the day though, but does have a 306 average and 8 home runs. So if he could get one here, that would be phenomenal. But Taylor Cole has got to be in a position where he is a little nervous now, after giving up that massive home run to Josh Bell. But wow, okay, so Osana. So let's see who Osana has, or who has Osana. I believe I might be the only person with that as well. And there is a drive down the left baseline, and it is called just foul at the wall. Bounces off the wall, and Justin Upton has a hard time getting a hold of it, and there's the tag off, and another run will score, and just like that, Pittsburgh has taken the lead. Oh my goodness. And Osana, who was 0 for 2 coming into this inning, comes up big with the double that is just foul down the left baseline, and another run scores. Colin Moran scores. Oh my goodness, this is phenomenal. Pittsburgh coming back and showing that they have fight and determination, and you can see just foul as the left base umpire calls that, but goes all the way to the wall, and Justin Upton has a bit of a hard time controlling it. And there goes Moran, doesn't even flinch, heads past third, goes home easily. And Pittsburgh has now taken the lead, and I have jumped, where have I jumped to? Let's actually check. I've jumped to 6th place now. So again, this game can do crazy things, and Kevin Newman is up and has the potential to get me a huge bingo here, because Osana obviously has 3.5 points, Marte has 4, and Newman, even if he gets an RBI, can do big things here. Now Newman, 1 for 2 on the day, a 305 average with 7 home runs, and if he is going to home run one more time, I would definitely love it for it to happen right now, right here. But let's see if somebody else has Newman on their board. And if they don't, then we will just stick with my board. And it looks like nobody else really has Newman. But Taylor Cole has got to be freaking out right now, because again, there is no outs in the inning, and Pittsburgh has scored 3 runs now. Okay, I can't find anybody else with Newman. Ooh, high fastball. Let's see. You know what? We might stick with my board for now, just because I know I've got the bingo lined up. I think we'll do that. We'll stick with mine for now. Wow. Okay, so as you've noticed, we have been very much in a roller coaster situation with the game, going as low as 90th place, which is last place, back up to the top 5, back down to 83rd, back up, and now I'm in 6th place. And this is the roller coaster that brings excitement, that is ranking ball. And it is very, very intense. And now we are waiting on Kevin Newman, who is 1 for 2 on the day, to do something special here. Chips that one away. Foul ball. Wow. Okay, so Pittsburgh is now up 6-5 against LA, with 1 runner on base in scoring position, no outs. The count is 1-1. And Trevor Newman is 1 for 2 with a 305 average. And Taylor Cole has got to be nervous. That one is fouled away as well. Count is still 1-2. Man, so Kevin Newman can get us a bingo, and we are in 6th place right now, but Kevin Newman can get us a bingo and get us some points here, which would be huge. And if he if he doubles, gets the RBI, and Pittsburgh goes up 6-0, then Osana would get another point to add to the bingo. And again, fouled away. Count is still 1-2. Right down the right baseline. All these people celebrating, whoever got the ball. Can't really tell. Man, okay, so this game, and when I mean this game, I mean Ranking Ball, can turn around for you in a heartbeat, because there is very early in the game, I believe it was at the end of the first inning and the second inning and the third inning, where I was like, this game is pretty much over. And now I'm in the top 10 again, and there it goes, the drive again, fouled out down the right baseline. That would have been perfect placement had that been fair. That would have been great for, I would say, a double, hopefully. And then maybe that would have brought Usana in. Usuna? I'm not sure. But Jose Usuna in, which would have given him another point. So that would have given him 4.5 points. Marte with 4 points. And Newman with a double would have got 2 points, question mark. And that would have gotten me a lot of points in my bingo. Boom, and there it goes. Oh, and that is right to the third baseman in time, easily for the out. But the runners will advance. So Kevin Newman grounds out to third baseman Matt Diaz, and then he easily tosses that to Albert Pujols, but that is one away. Wow, okay, so my bingo will have to wait, unfortunately. But that's okay. We can wait on that. Let's check the board. I am still in 6th place with 36.05 points. I am within striking distance of first place, which is very, very exciting. So there's a outside ball. It's ball 1. And this is Jacob Stallings. So we can see if somebody has Stallings, but I don't actually remember his name popping up. Now that being said, there's a lot of names that I have to go through on this. High fastball. Stallings, I do not see Stallings. Stallings. Oh, there we go, Stallings. But doesn't do much. But, you know, they're on the board, so let's just watch it on this board. Now, you can see, obviously, they have Stallings, but they're going to have to wait for Trout to come up to actually do anything. Because, again, we have to essentially negate the pitchers at this point. And that's center score. And that is fouled away. So, Jacob Stallings, 0 for 2 on the day, 279 average, 775 on-base percentage and 4 home runs with 1 away, 1 runner on second. And who is up after Stallings? So we would go to Reyes. So these next 2 batters could end the inning and LA would get out. But right now they are well down. But again, once they get out of the inning, the pitching will get a few more points. And so my rank, I will go from 6th, I believe, to significantly lower. Probably more like 20th, I would assume. Another foul ball. So the count is 1-2, sorry. And LA, after losing 8-2, has put up a huge fight, but now has fallen back down and lost the lead. And Taylor Cole, this has to be a very tough situation for him to come in and to give up the lead so early with no outs and only 1 away right now. But again, he is outside. And again, it's very interesting to note that since Josh Bell, where he went very high and inside and actually hitting, I think he hit Bell, but again, it was fouled away, technically deemed a foul. After going high and inside like that, he is very, wow, okay, I say he's avoided doing that, but right there goes again high and inside, but gives up another ball. So now the count is 2-2. Or is that 3-2? I actually lost count of what the count was. That was 3-2, I believe. And there it goes, drives it. Ooh, and that was a solid catch there by Matt Diaz. drills it right to Theas, and that is, I don't want to say that's an easy catch for Theas, but that is a great catch, a good catch by Theas. Looks like a goalie in that stance almost. Hockey goalie, that is. So Stallings does not get on base. So now there's 2 away with 1 runner in scoring position still. And we do have Kevin Newman is up. Or sorry, Pablo Reyes. Apologies. Pablo Reyes is up. Reyes is 0 for 2, 177 average, 517 on base percentage, and 2 home runs. So I don't expect anybody to have Reyes on this board, but again, I am 6th right now with 36 points, but because the pitching will get out of the inning, whenever they get out of the inning, they'll get a few more points, so that will drop me, like I said, probably down to about 20th place, as the people behind me will just kind of come up and get out from all the negative points that they have. So the count now is 0-2 for Pablo Reyes, who again is already 0-2 on the day. Ooh, and he gets it right down the center with a ground hit, so that'll be good for a base hit. And they are driving for home, and Pittsburgh scores another run, and Pablo Reyes gets the double off of that as well. Oh my goodness. So with 2 away, down in the count 0-2, Pablo Reyes comes back and hits a double and scores 1 RBI. And Pittsburgh goes up 7-5. And they might end up pulling Taylor Cole now. Wow. Okay, so as you can see, again, because of the score alone, I've given up, LA has given up. Oh, and it looks like they are pulling Cole for Luis Garcia. So that is a very, very interesting call, and that is unfortunate for Taylor Cole to be pulled that early after 1 inning. But to give up, what is that, 4 runs they gave up? Because it was 3. Yeah. So they gave up, for Taylor Cole to give up 4 runs in an inning is obviously grounds for being pulled. Now, I keep saying that Trevor Williams should be pulled, and I still stand by that. I still think that Pittsburgh would be in a better position had they not allowed Taylor Williams to give up said runs. But Adam Frazier will be up, and I don't have Frazier on my board, but I know he has been around. So again, slowly climbing the board. Now I am very, very much within striking distance of Yote Bob, but does have Frazier on their board. But you can see for LA, their pitching is now down to minus 14.5 points. So as I've talked about, digging yourself out of that hole is next to impossible. You just have to minimize the damage and trust that the other team is, equally as struggling equally as much. And if you go back to my board, I am only minus 7.5 points. So if Pittsburgh can get out of the inning, the bottom of the 5th, this will be a very, very good situation for them. So, but let's see who else is out. Because who is up? Adam Frazier. Adam Frazier is up. Wow. This game just turned around so fast. So I went with Pittsburgh. Because, Pittsburgh, they are like, I don't know, I think they're like 48 and 60 or something like that. Like their Pittsburgh ranking is not something that you want to necessarily brag about. There's Frazier right there, but Frazier can't do anything for them. Again, diagonals are usually how you're going to win these ranking ball games, but in a situation like this, you have to rely on all of your horizontal and vertical bingos, and this person right here. Wow, if they had Stallings get one, that would have been huge, because you can see Bell is 14.5 points for them right now, and they're 7th, so that would be huge. And they do have Frazier, so they could set up potential other bingos in the next inning if Stassi and Pujols get anything. Which for me, in my opinion, I would prefer if they got one of these, if Frazier got a base hit for them, and then they, got into that inning. That would be ideal for me, personally. It's actually very hard to do this and talk at a high level. High volume. Ooh, and there's a beautiful strike right there. 84-mile-an-hour slider against Adam Frazier. Again, there's 2 away, and Frazier is down 0-1 on the count. 1 runner at second in scoring position. And again, I am currently ranked. Oh, that's not me. Huh. Adam Frazier. Oh, they've got Frazier, but again, like Frazier can't really do much. Ooh. Strike 2. See, it would be great if Luis Garcia did not strike anybody out right now. Maybe let a couple runs too. Maybe we have to go through the batting order again and I get a lot more points. That would be awesome. Just because of where my average is right now and where. Oh, there we go, Frazier. Okay, so right here, Milanek 15 will get a bingo if Frazier gets on base, and that is strike 3, and that ends the inning. So Luis Garcia comes into the game in a very bad situation, but gets the strikeout. So that is huge for LA to get out and control the bleeding that is happening. And we will come back in the bottom of the 5th to see who is pitching for Pittsburgh. If it still is Trevor Williams, but I personally hope that he is out of the game because he's not done anything great. And I would like to try to get some positive points here for my pitching, and we could do that. But I am currently 6th place. Let's see now. So I actually surprisingly did not drop, even with the pitching, even with that pitching that strikeout at the bottom of the inning to get out of the inning. I still haven't changed positions. I'm still ranked 6th overall, so that is very interesting. And I don't know who we have coming up. But I believe we are in the bottom half of the order. I think Renfroe and Stassi will be coming up. But I really just need Mike Trout to do something. That would be cool. If Mike Trout did something, I would get, you know, I guess I needed Reynolds. So if we had Reynolds. Yeah. Oh yeah, Reynolds is for the other team. So yeah, no, I mean if Mike Trout, I actually would be cool if Mike Trout hit a home run. If Trout hit a home run, that would give me a bingo with a lot of points there. As you can see, I've got 4.5 and then 9 with Ohtani. So that would be really cool. That'd really be cool, and then that'd be special. We get to see Mike Trout's 40th home run. So I would take that for sure. But let's see if Mike Trout did. So then, so that would be tough too, because then. You're talking about a huge. Oh, so that's a double bingo for Yo Bob. So I think that would put his score almost out of reach then, if Trout did get a home run or scored points at that or at all. But Cole Calhoun is up, so we actually won't see Mike Trout for a while, but we will see Albert Pujols coming up. So let's see. So Cole Calhoun is not on my. Wait. Yeah, it's called Calhoun. Okay. So Calhoun is not on my board, but he is on low ball 1. Let's see, Cole Calhoun. Who has a Cole Calhoun? Oh, Cole Calhoun. Okay, so Cole Calhoun could get Zergling 4-4 some points. And there's a drive. That is fair down the first baseline all the way at the warning track, at the wall. And Pablo Reyes struggles to find footing, and that'll be good for a double. So Cole Calhoun will get Zergling some points, and Renfroe will be coming up later in this inning. So we will see if they are able to get the bingo. So Zergling, so we will have to remember that. And you can see I've already dropped down to 1 point to 7th place now. But you can still see the overall scores are still fairly tight. There's a lot of people, 30, 31, 29, 28, 27 points. So it is still a very, very tight matchup. But Yo Bob is starting to clear the way with 46 points. Again, once they get that, if they get Trout gets anything, that would be dangerous. Now, Albert Pujols is on my board. Does have 1.5 points. So I could risk Pujols actually taking a strikeout here because it doesn't really look like anything's set up for me to get bingos. But I would need my pitcher to get points. So that's where you kind of have to pick your battles. I would rather take the -1 point for Pujols striking out and going down to 0.5 where he's still positive, but he's not doing any damage against my score, which would give my pitcher 2 points. So that's what I would like. But Pujols is 1 for 1, 240 average, 18 home runs on the year, 0-1 in the count. And there it goes right to second. And that is an easy, easy ground out for Pujols. So, doesn't do anything. Good enough. I will take that one. And we will go back and see. So, the runners did advance. So, LA does have runners in scoring position at third base right now. So, Osana is still on third. Or, sorry. Yeah, or Cole Calhoun is on third. Sorry. Apologies. And Matt Thas is up. Diaz. I don't remember him being on anybody's board. But I just need strikeouts because there's one out. I could use another out. That would be great. Wow, look at this board. Like, imagine if they got 1 point in pitching. You got horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, and there's a lot of points on that board. That would be huge. That would be so huge. But again, that's the issue that happens when you're talking about what happens when you end up not getting the points that you, or like not getting the pitching points. There's a strike, and again, you know, we talked about how that batting or that strike zone for this umpire is a weird like pear shape. So again, just something to keep your eye on. So those pitches that are just outside the CGI, the graphic for the batting box, or strike zone, that's it's a little bit outside, and that's what they're calling strikes. And that one's fouled out, so the count is still 0-2. And Diaz is 0 for 2 on the day with a 192 average. So no surprise that I can't find anybody with him on their board. Maybe if we go all the way down. Let's see. Lydia. Lydia still has a lot of points, you can see, but that minus point, and obviously missing players and getting bingo opportunities is what's really messing that person up. High fastball. Count is 1-2. So Diaz. Why did nobody pick Diaz? Cordelia. Nope. It's hard to find players when you get to that lower half of the batting order because so many players want to pick the top end players, and I obviously myself included. Ooh. Fouls that one away. The count is still 1-2. Yeah, nobody picked Diaz, so, I mean, we could keep looking, but it might be futile, I think, at that point. So the count is 1-2. Pittsburgh is up 7-5 over LA. In the bottom of the fifth, one away, one runner in scoring position on third. Matt Diaz pops it up to center field, and Sterling Marte is there, gets the out, and they're going for home. And the tag is in time, and that is now 3 away, and LA gets out of, or LA, that ends the inning. Sorry, Pittsburgh gets out of the inning off a great double play and off a failed stolen base attempt by LA in desperation, trying to score runs, and you can't blame them, but that is phenomenal. And you can see my pitching score has gone up, well, not significantly, but has gone up to minus 5.5 points. And you can see just in time. And are they going to review this? I hope they don't review this because I'm going to call that one an out. But I now am in fourth place with 45.05 points. And we can go back and see. So the Pittsburgh defense bails out Trevor Williams because, let's be honest, he cannot get it done. That is just a fact. We know that now. Oh, wow. 45.05 points, and I am a very, very minuscule 1.1 points back from first place. Wow. So if LA gives up any more runs, this could be a very tight game as we go into the top of the 6th inning. And I don't know who we have up, but again, Mike Trout is going to be that danger, because if Mike Trout gets them these 2 bingos, that's kind of going to, I don't want to say that's going to be it, but that's going to give them a lot of points for Yoke Bob. But Reynolds here, wow, if Reynolds could get on base too, if I could get a double out of Reynolds, that would set me up for the same thing with Kevin Newman. But we'll have to see kind of how that plays out, or, you know, ideally with Mike Trout too. So if Reynolds gets the score here, Yoke Bob does not have Reynolds. So, and then we both get Trout, we would both have double bingos with a lot of points. I think I might actually have more points because I think they only have, Yoke Bob only has points. Yeah, like that's their big 13, but I have 2 9-point scores so far. So, man, that's the double bingo that I want. If I take that double bingo, I would take the lead. And that's if Mike Trout just gets a single. But if he did something special, like I said, and got the, you know, the, what do you want to call it? I lost my train of thought. So, sorry. So, Brian Reynolds is up. So we are second in the lineup. So we will be able to go through a big chunk of that lineup. Reynolds is 1 for 2 on the day. Did strike out last time. 334 average. But could use a double here. And there's another ball. That's in the dirt. So Reynolds, -1 on my board. But let's see who else has him. Because I know a lot of people would. I know Yoke Bob does not have him. Reynolds right there, -1. So they would get a bingo as well right off the bat. So we can actually watch see what happens at this at bat. Now, if he walks, he'll only get 1.5 points. So that'll put him at half a point. So they won't actually get the bingo with half a point. You have to get a full point before you actually get before the tile or on the board is activated. So just something to be aware of. Half a point doesn't count, but anything above will count. So if you're at 0 or half a point for that board, it's going to be it's not going to count, essentially. I mean, it will count, but it's not going to count for a bingo. You need at least 1 point. Again, so the count is 3-1 with another outside splitter. Sorry. So Luis Garcia, who came in and got a strikeout in the last one, high and inside, but called a strike on a 97.7 mile-an-hour fastball. So the count is 3-2 now, and there's no outs, but we are in the top of the 6th, and Luis Garcia could be the one to try to save this game for LA. 3-2 pitch. Ooh, I will take that. They're calling that just a little low, but that is ball 4, and Garcia walks Reynolds. So Reynolds should come up on the board as .05 for everybody, myself included. So there you go. So on my board, you can see, oh my goodness, as you can see, so I taking out the -1 from Reynolds, and I have actually gone up to first place just like that with 46.55. So let's just clarify this. I have gone from last place, 90th place, back to first. And Ranking Ball is a crazy game, and that is a little single to shallow center field. And the runners advance. So Sterling Marte gets the base hit, and now runners are in first and second with runners now in scoring position for Pittsburgh again. And we have Josh Bell up. Again, who did have the home run in the last inning. Man, this is exciting. And I am a full 2 points up on BRTTBE11. And they as well have Josh Bell, but again, can't really do much until Pujols or Trout get on the board, which I am too very optimistic to see Mike Trout get back up to bat. But I believe we will see Kevin Newman. We will potentially see Kevin Newman. With no outs, we will potentially see Kevin Newman this inning. But again, Garcia hopefully starts to crack. Again, strike. So that's a 98 mile an hour fastball, low and inside. But again, we've talked about, sorry, there we go. Strike zone is here. Boom. That's the strike zone. So just for reference, when you're at home, the lower outside, you're going to get a lot of width in terms of that strike zone. So again, Stassi has to come out and they have to have a discussion at the mound with their pitcher. Something we've kind of seen a lot all game with LA's pitching. And I mean, we have seen it with Pittsburgh's pitching as well. So very, very interesting. But yeah, tight, but you know, fair enough. I think that's the right call for the strike there. But Josh Bell, oh my goodness, 2 for 2 on the day, 289 average, 976 on base percentage, 31 home runs, which he did hit last inning with 1 RBI. And there are 2 runners on base, so if we get a double here, that should be good for 1, maybe 2 RBIs. Come on, Josh Bell, let's go. 2-2, boom, fouls that one away. Man, Josh Bell right now, because that's 9 points. And can you, like, that's the thing when you have the pitching, like, without the pitching, like, it makes it really hard to score points because you have to rely on all these horizontal and vertical bingos. And, man, like, I would have so many bingos right now if I had that. I mean, I say that, but everybody would have bingos if that center was available. And I'm actually, like I said, I'm in the lead right now with, ooh, ugly strike. And is that strike 3? That looks like that. Yes, that would have been strike 3, unfortunately. So that's 1 away for Luis Garcia, and that might change the rank. So I am now in second with 46.55 points. So we can double check and see how that played out. Yes, that would be the pitching coming up and getting 2 points out of the pitching, I would assume. But Colin Moran is now up. Moran is 2 for 3 on the day with 284 average, 11 home runs. And Moran, I don't remember seeing Moran on a lot of boards. Let's see, yo, Bob. Ooh, low. Come on, load the bases. And who's up next? Yeah, load the bases, and Osana would be able to bring everybody home. Because I know I'm second, and I have Osana. But it doesn't matter because I can't get a bingo out of it anyways, necessarily. But then I would really, really want Trout to come in and just destroy it. But yeah, we will see Newman up. So even if Osana gets on base, then we could still get a pretty good bingo. But obviously, I want to take advantage of that 9 points right there. And you can see that we did lose a point from Bell because of that strikeout. So it's ball 2 now. So Luis Garcia, 1 away, 2 runners on base in the top of the 6th, runners in scoring position on second. LA is down 7-5, and the count is 2-0. And Moran is getting 2 and 3 for the day. A double would be fantastic here, but again, Moran's not on my board, so it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. I would prefer the bases loaded and Osana. Ooh, again. That grab, like we've talked about it time and time again, but it's just that ball is just outside, and yet they're calling it a strike. So, but 2-1. Moran is still up in the count, still has a chance to do something. As long as he doesn't strike out, I'm good, because if he strikes out, that gives the LA pitchers more points, and that's going to bring my score, my total score. I mean, it will remain my total score. But, oh, shoot. Okay. Wild pitch, but runners do not advance. So the count is 2-2. So Moran, 2-2. Like I said, as long as he doesn't strike out, it works out good. If he wants to fly out, I'm okay with that. 100% okay with that. Because that would allow, especially if he fouls out to deep right field, or not fouls out, but like flies out to deep right field, that would at least let the runner at second tag up and then try to steal for third, and I think that they would get that in time. Okay. In the dirt. Another splitter. So now the count is 3-2. So full count, 1 away. Colin Moran. Again, I don't see a lot of people with Moran on their board. Nobody. Moran, nope. Nope. So we'll just leave it here. Again, Pittsburgh's pitching is only 5.5 points, so I could actually get positive pitching points if we pitched a clean inning and get 1 or 2 strikeouts. That would be phenomenal. But again, that won't come with Trevor Williams pitching. So full count, 3-2, 2 on base at first and second, top of the 6th, 1 away. Pittsburgh up 7-5. And Luis Garcia has to think about it a little longer. The 3-2 pitch. Ooh, loses control of it. But that's ball 4, and so the runners will advance anyways. And now the bases are loaded. And we have Jose Usana up to bat, who is in a great position for us to score some serious points. And again, I have gone back up to first place, so a lot of movement between me and second place right now. But they do not have Usana where I do, so hopefully Usana can do something special. So we can find somebody else who has Usana. Oh, they had Moran. Usana. Come on, somebody's got to have him. Low and outside. Ball 1. Usana. Come on. Somebody's got to have him. No, this is crazy. This is crazy that people don't have him because he's actually really good. Okay, nobody has him. Ooh, there's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-1. Usana is 1 for 3 on the day, 311 average, 8 home runs. Like I said, with that 311 average, I put him on my board because I was like, you are going to get points from me. And he's so far has done that. But obviously, you want more and more points you can get. And I can't seem to find anybody with Usana, so we're going to just leave it on my board for now. But the bases are loaded. There's only 1 away. Usana can make a huge difference with a perfectly placed ball to deep right or left field, right in the corner against the wall. But we will have to see. Again, low pitch. In the dirt. So the count will be 2-1. Man, I cannot believe Pittsburgh in 3 innings has scored 7 runs to take the lead. And again, has the bases loaded with Luis Garcia pitching. So it would be great if Pittsburgh could really take advantage of their score and obviously the situation with 1 away. Dangerous because they could get it would be easy to get a double play here and end the inning. But if he can put it deep, okay. 84-mile-an-hour slider. Low, but that is going to be strike 2. So Jose Usana, as I mentioned before, as long as he doesn't strike out, will at least not have a huge effect on the points. But after Usana, I believe we have Newman up. So even if Usana does strike out, we will still be eligible for a bingo with Newman. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how that point plays out because 1 and 2 is so close. And there it goes to deep left field at the wall. Oh my goodness, but Justin Upton is there for the out. And Pittsburgh tags up, but 1 run does score on the sacrifice fly. Wow, okay, so Pittsburgh, off Usana's sacrifice fly, 1 run does score, and Pittsburgh now goes up 8-5 as the runners advance. Great play. Great play by Usana for the sacrifice fly. So, runners at first and third now. And Pittsburgh is up 8-5. And Kevin Newman is up. So Usana, even though he gets the out, gets the RBI, so now has 6 points. So Kevin Newman, and I have Reynolds because he got Reynolds scored. So we have Pujols, Reynolds. So this would be a great point to get a bingo. So I absolutely need Kevin Newman to get a point because I will get a double bingo there, and I am up by 4 points now because again the LA pitching is bringing people down, and we will try to find somebody who has Newman. But if I get that bingo, that is going to put me in a very comfortable position to defend first place. It's going to be hard to find somebody who had Newman. And again, I'm the only person who appears to have picked Pittsburgh. Okay, that's a strike. That's a strike. Okay, so there's Newman. Again, but LA is minus 13.5 points on their board, so won't really be able to do much for them. And they're ranked 11th right now. So let's leave it on mine because, again, I have 2 bingos on the board right now. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Newman. Give me something. 1 for 3 and a 304 average. Ooh. That is a low slider. Called a strike. So that's the count is 1 and 2. So 1 and 2, 2 away. Runners on first and third. Pittsburgh is up 8-5 in the top of the 6th. And Kevin Newman is 1 for 3 on the day. Has the ability to do something huge and get me 2 bingos here. 2 bingos. Come on. And I am in first place. Now would give me a huge leg up on the competition right now. I just need a 1 base. Dang it! Okay, so that is 3 outs. That ends the inning. Luis Garcia gets the out, so I have gone from first to third. Kevin Newman has screwed me over. What a piece of... Okay, that sucks. That really sucks because that would have been huge. That would have given me a very, a commanding... I would say a commanding lead, but obviously we know how this game can change in a heartbeat. But let's go back to the boards and see kind of how things have played out then. So BRTT is now up in first place with a score of 50.25. And you can see, again, it's really not that they have done anything, but it's just I haven't done anything, and their pitching is scoring points, so it just brings them up. Yeah, because they were their pitching is already at a negative position of minus 12, but now it's at minus 7, so it just slides them up a few points. And I mean, fair credit, because that was a good strikeout. Whenever you strike out when you get the last out by a strikeout, the pitcher gets, I think, 5 points. So, but that being said, my pitching is only at minus 5.5 points. So if we get a solid, and I mean a solid inning of pitching here, 3 up, 3 down, maybe 1 strikeout at the end, I believe that would put me in positive pitching numbers, and that would give me 1 vertical, 1 horizontal, and 1 diagonal bingo, and that would be phenomenal. So if that happens, I will very, very easily go up into first place. But we will have to see who is up, and obviously how the inning plays out. But let's see kind of how that plays out. So I'm curious to know what, yeah. Think about this. I was last place for the longest time, and now I am very, very seriously in contention, because LA has not collapsed, but definitely given up a lot of points in the last few innings. So it's a huge turn of events. Where my pitching was super low, then all of a sudden LA's pitching has got even worse than mine. So we're both operating in the same position, but now I have the chance, I think, to get out of the inning with some positive points. And obviously, I'm going to need 1, most likely 2 strikeouts to do that. And I believe we are going to get a new pitcher. Michael Felez. I don't know. I'm not good with these Latin American names. Is that even the appropriate terminology? Latin American? Latin American or like Spanish names? I don't know what the proper linguistic term I guess would be in that case. But anyways. So, Renfro is up, so we can see if anybody has Renfro. But Velez is up, has a 3.79 ERA, so hopefully can really close this game out and bring it to an end. And Renfro is 1 for 2 on the day, has a 244 average with 4 home runs, and he is not on first place's board. Not on second place's board either. Nope. But man, if Trout got something too, dang, that would be cool. I don't know if we'll... Actually, we will see Trout, because Renfro, we're at the bottom of the batting order. So, oh, there's Renfro. So here we go. So Zergling will actually fouled away. So that is strike 2 then. So the count is 1-2. So Velez, like I said, we need 2 strikeouts here, and this would be extremely great if Renfro could strike out here. Again, 1 for 2 on the day, but only a 244 average. So I'm hoping mathematically, numbers and all that stuff, against a fresh pitcher who only has 3 throws so far on the day. Come on. 79-mile-an-hour slider, low and very much inside. So Zergling will get a bingo if Renfro gets on base, but I'm hoping Renfro strikes out here. Come on, let's go. Renfro gets a piece of it though, and that is a great stop by Kevin Newman. The throw to first is in time and he is out. So Renfro grounds out, and that's 1 away. So let's go back to the board. So Renfro does not give Zergling 4-2-4 the bingo and leaves them at 6th place, and I am still in 3rd. No movement on the board, but Max Stassi is up, and I don't believe Stassi was on a lot of people's boards. Oh, look at that. So Stassi is on Denver Hits boards, but Stassi is 0 for 2 on the day with a 147 average, 393 on-base percentage, and 1 home run. So again, need 2 strikeouts. This would be great because we have to go to the top of the lineup right after this with Fletcher, who is 2 for 2 on the day. So best to try to get those strikeouts now, which would be great. So, ooh, and Stassi swings on an 80-mile-an-hour slider. So the count is 0-2. And again, like I said, we need that strikeout. So that would be great to get that now. That might actually put us back into first place, but we'll have to see and wait on that one. Oh, come on. 81-mile-an-hour slider. Count is 1-2. Ball was low and outside. But don't be scared, Velez. Go high, and like throw that high fastball. I don't know what your speed is, but let's see it. I'm hoping for like a 94, 95-mile-an-hour high fastball. Oh my goodness. Wow. Way to put it right in the face of Stassi. That. I said high fastball. I didn't say high and tight. Dang, Stassi almost took one to the face right there. So, even if you don't get hit, that's like, it's got to shake you up a little bit. It's got to mess with your mindset as the batter. Like, you want to get back in there and just be aggressive, but at the same time, like, that's scary when that ball's coming right at you and you have to react like that. And that one's fouled away. So the count is 2-2 still. Oh, man. So Stassi could get Denver Hit, who is in 2nd place, a few more points if they get on base. But I need that strikeout. Velez, the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, breaking ball, called strike 3, and that's the first strikeout. And like I said, we needed 2 of those, and there's now 2 away. If we can end this inning on a strikeout, that's going to put our pitching into positive points. And we have 3.5 points. So I'm sounding really excited here, and I am very excited for this. So David Fletcher is 2 for 2 on the day, but if we can strike him out, if we can strike out David Fletcher right here, we will have 1 horizontal, 1 vertical, and 1 diagonal bingo with a lot of points, and that would skyrocket us right now. And there's that high fastball, ball 1. But again, Fletcher, 2 for 2 on the day, 280 average, 5 home runs. Come on, Velez. This is like, if we just, I think if we get an out here, he'll still get the 5 points. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And that's strike 1. So the count is 1-1, 2 away. Pittsburgh is up 8-5. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a good game. This is a very good game. So if you're tuned in, this is exciting right now. This is phenomenal baseball. Now this is an exciting game, but I'm telling you right now, Ranking Ball is just adding to that excitement. Fouls that one away, so the count is 1-2. So we are 1 strike away from destroying the opposition and getting into positive points. Now remember, we at one point were minus 12.5 points for pitching, but because the pitching has been surprisingly consistent since those first 3 innings, we might actually be able to get into the positive points for pitching. Oh, and that is not what we needed. Damn it. So that is a grounder to shallow center field, and that is not at all what we needed. So we are going to give up a point there. So David Fletcher is now 3 for 3 on the day. Does get on base. Oh, man, and Mike Trout is up. So I think, man, okay, so this is a very tough situation. So if you look at my board specifically, I am minus 4.5 points. If we strike out Mike Trout, we would get 5 points, I believe. And this is not what I wanted. But if we get Trout, we will still get 2 bingos. But if we get the strikeout and we get the positive points, we're going to get a lot more points out of that because we would get all of the bingos compared to just 2. So I would much rather get all of the bingos than just 2. But either way, so this puts us in a very, very interesting position. But let's just very quickly check the board. First place does have Trout, but Trout won't do anything for them. Denver hit. Mike Trout won't do anything for them either. Yot Babu. Trout, again, okay, so Trout will get them. But again, they're 5th place. They're a point behind, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. But let's just watch my board for now and see how that plays out. Oh, come on. Stop pitching away from him. So, Mike Trout, 0-2 for the day, but now is very, very much up in the count, 3-0. Come on, just strike Trout out. At this point, just strike him out. Wow, there we go. There you go. Fastball, 3-1, 3-1. All right, we're almost there. So, like, maybe he fouls out and we throw a slider, like a low slider or that high fastball and try to get him swinging on it. I would actually throw the high fastball for strike 3 and try to get him swinging for it. Maybe think that it's going to be a slider. So, 2 away. Okay. So I get the bingos. Trout gets on base, so 1.5 points. So I get the bingos. I get the horizontal one, and then I get the vertical one, which is great because I get a lot of points out of it. Don't get me wrong, but my pitching score is back down to -6. So if I can get a strikeout here just to end the inning, that would be good. I would take that because the overall goal for me at this point is to try to get my pitching back into positive points so I can be a little more consistent and have a little more options in terms of getting bingos. But I am holding on to first place by 3 points now. And we do have Otani up. So I have Otani, but again, can't do anything for me because that middle square is out and we just got the bingo. So the bingos. I should be more excited to have more bingos, but the reality is what I could have had we got the out, that original out against Fletcher. That would have been way better for me. That would have been way, way, way better. But let's look for somebody who has Otani. Keep off Otani. Oh, there we go. Otani, but again, doesn't really do much for them. Doesn't do much for anybody because it looks like everybody's kind of struggling now to get points because of the pitching. Ooh, and Otani on that high fastball fouls it away. That's strike one. Otani. Nobody. Patricia, do you have Otani? You do not have Otani. Low and outside, ball one. So this is, oh, there we go, Otani. Can't really do much, but let's just watch their board anyways. So who would be after Otani? Justin Upton. But obviously we want to get the out here. So this is always the tough part. You're at 2 outs, and Otani fouls that one away on that high fastball, high inside fastball. So that's, again, count remains 1-2. Oh, man. Like, it just sucks that, like, we are 1 strike away from getting all the bingos, and David Fletcher had to be a jerk and go 3 for 3 on the day. So, you know, and now then they walk Trout, and that, you know, it is what it is. I'm glad that I'm at the end of the day, like, I'm glad that, like, we did get Trout, like, we didn't have to strike Trout out, like. And so that at least gives us the bingos. So, I mean, it's better than nothing, but obviously to get all the bingos, you know, I don't like. So it's just frustrating that things don't work out sometimes. But that is Ranking Ball. But it's still exciting because I could. Oh, that's not my board, but ooh, and Otani fouls away again. The count is still 2-2. But Otani's been 2 for 3 on the day with a .293 batting average and 15 home runs. 2 runners on base, 2 away. The count is 2-2. Pittsburgh is up 8-5 over LA. And how great would it be if Otani could get struck out here? I think I would actually take that. I'll take that -1 on my board to get a few extra points for my pitching. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away again. So if you actually think about it, the last few pitches have all been fastballs. The last 4 pitches actually have all been fastballs, and they've all been high fastballs. So at this point, you want to think about that curveball. You want to think about the slider. You want to go low and inside maybe and try to get him to swing for it, especially when you are up in the count and it's 2-2 right now. Ooh, okay, so that's, you know, that I like. I mean, I don't want to say I call it, but that's kind of what I want. So he throws the changeup, but it's too low. It's in the dirt, and it's actually 3-2. So full count now, 2 on base, 2 outs. And Velez needs to get out of this inning right now. Otherwise, risking scoring points. Ooh, 3-2 pitch, low and inside, and Otani goes down swinging, and that ends the inning, and that'll be huge for my points. But as you can see, Otani will go down in the other board. So I am now at -1, but like I said, doesn't really make a difference in comparison to what it could have been had we struck out David Fletcher. I genuinely wish we had struck out Fletcher, because then my entire board would have lit up and fireworks would have gone off, and I would have had, like, I've got, what, 60 points right now? I probably would have had 70. I would have been like 10, 20 points up on the next person. But again, keeping in mind, we were at minus 12.5 points, and we have clawed our way back to -1 for pitching. So that is huge, and that is the reason why we are in first place right now. But if we go to the board, I am now 8 points up on second place. And second place, again, that 8 points is right there in the LA pitching. So if they are at -1, then this is a very, very close game and a much different game. So as we go into the 7th inning, that will kind of be the determining factor. But it is a very, very close game right now. Man, yeah, this is very close. It's very close. So we will see who the pitcher is as well. For LA, if it is still Luis Garcia. Garcia did a fairly good job pitching, but again, did allow 1 run. So it would be interesting to see if they actually pulled Garcia after 1 inning. But yeah, so yeah, LA is back up, Pittsburgh is back up. So I don't remember where we are in the lineup, though. I think we might be towards the bottom end of the lineup. So we will have to wait, but then obviously we get through Frazier. We will have Reynolds up, who is 0 points. But again, because we're at -1, I think we can actually, providing LA doesn't go on an offensive rampage, I think we can optimistically plan for some positive points in that center square at the end of the 7th inning. So that's something that we can look forward to, I think. So let's start. So I think what we need to think about and what we need to start planning is for our Pittsburgh, or for the Pittsburgh pitching to actually get into that positive. But we do have a new pitcher. So Jake Jewell has a 7.5 ERA. And Jacob Stallings, who is 0 for 3 on the day with a 276 average and 4 home runs, is up. So this will be interesting. It would be great to see Stallings get on base. And like I said, there wasn't a lot of people who had Stallings on their board, so it wouldn't make too much of a difference. And really, like at this point, I'm not trying to come off, arrogant, I guess, but I've got a good lead. I've got a good lead at this point, and I just need, even if whoever has Stallings, if Stallings got a home run, even if they were second, it wouldn't make much of a difference for me. And there's a quick ground out. So Renfroe to Pujols, and that is 1 away. So just like that, Stallings goes 0 for 4. But I believe Pablo Reyes will be up, and I don't think so. We are at the bottom of we are at the bottom of the inning, or not the inning, the bottom of the lineup. So Pablo Reyes is 1 for 3 with a 190 ER or batting. Oh my goodness, and that took out Reyes right there. So Jewell, oh my gosh, takes out Reyes. And you hate to see that. It looks like the pitch might have just got away from him, but hits him right in the elbow. So at least it wasn't higher, but doesn't have any protection. As you can see, he tries to tuck that elbow, but there's no getting out of the way of the pitch because that pitch is coming in way too fast. So Reyes will get the base, but I'm not sure if they will pitch run for him or not. But you have to wonder now, Jewell coming into a game down 3 points, how that's going to affect him mentally. Not only giving up a base, but feeling like you're losing control of your pitches. That's going to be tough. So Adam Frazier is now up 1 for 3 on the day, 266 average, 6 home runs on the year. And we will see. So Yoke Bob does have Frazier, who does have 0.5 points from him, and he is in 3rd place. And I am still in 1st with 60.5 points. Again, I did not have either of those players, so nothing has changed on my board. And I am actually even further ahead now because LA's pitching has given up that base hit, or that base to, oh, and there we go. And Frazier goes deep into the gap into left center field at the warning track off the wall. And it looks like 1 run will score, and they have now caught Adam Frazier. And that's good for an out right there. So, wow, okay, so a lot has just happened there. So Frazier gets caught and gets out, I believe. And then Pittsburgh had scored. So, I mean, wow, okay, so a lot's happened. So, 1 run on first. And goes deep to left center field in the gap at the wall. The runner at first advanced. But when the throw was not in time at the cutoff, they did end up catching Frazier in the middle. So that's 2 away, but 1 run scores, and Pittsburgh goes up 9-5 now over LA. And we have Reynolds up. So let's go back to the board. So again, I still have 60 points, and I'm still in first. But with 1 run scoring, again, my lead is growing to 9 points now. And I do have Reynolds. Let's see. Yo, Bob. Reynolds does not have Reynolds. Okay. Reynolds. There's Reynolds. But again, can't do anything because pitching is done terrible. Denver hit Reynolds. There's Reynolds, but can't really do anything. So at least they are Denver's kind of setting up a bingo. But Stassi, having Stassi in that position is a very tough call to actually see if he could actually produce points. Stassi's not the kind of player I would put in a diagonal position. Oh, and there's a hit to deep center field at the wall, and that is gone. Oh my gosh. And just like that, Brian Reynolds gets his 13th home run of the season, saw the ball and said, let me get you back to your seat, and drives it well over the wall. And Jewel gives up another 2 runs, and Reynolds is on my board. So there we go, another 6.5 points. Oh my gosh, and Pittsburgh is now up 10-5, and in back-to-back nights has put up 10 runs against the LA Angels. Oh my goodness. And Jake Jewell's ERA has skyrocketed now up to 8.35. Wow. Ooh. And Marte is up. And that ball was high and tight. And that is the second time that they have gone high and tight against Marte today. Wow. Okay, so Jewell has got to be shaken. And I am now 66.5 points. And I have a commanding lead now over second place by 14 points. Wow, okay. So, I mean, it's a lot that's happening right now. So, this is huge. This is huge. So, Marte, though, it would be great if he did something 3 for 4 on the day. And remember, just, I was 90th place earlier in this game. I was last place, like, absolute last place, thinking this was going to be a nightmare of a game. But lucky enough, I was the only person who actually chose Pittsburgh as the pitching, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little proud right now. I'm a little proud that I was actually like, hey, I'm going to go with LA, and or not LA, but Pittsburgh, and it's baseball can be a very long game, and I believe I've played the long game perfectly in this situation. And Marte goes deep to right center field at the gap, but Calhoun is there in time. And so that will end the inning. Wow, so crazy inning. I have 66.5 points. I've got 5 bingos. My pitching is at -1 right now, and providing how this bottom 7th inning goes could really determine how the rest of the game goes, because I think at this point, though, after LA went on fire and scored 3 or 5 runs in the first 3 innings, has done nothing, where the last 4 innings now, the Pittsburgh Pirates have put up 7 runs. Wow, what, like, if Pittsburgh had been playing like this early in the season, they would have been doing a lot better. But this has also kind of been LA's MO, where they have strong runs and then they fall apart. So, wow. So LA's pitching is at minus 11 points, so that's really holding them back. I don't know who is coming up, but I believe because Ohtani, Pujols, and Trout have all gone through the lineup, we can actually just go for the strikeouts. So actually Pujols will come up, and we will see how that plays out. But we'll also have to see if Pittsburgh, who they keep in the lineup for pitching. Yeah, so, wow, okay. Man, if Kevin Newman didn't get that strikeout too, that would be great. But at this point, we have a lead. We just need to control it. Pittsburgh needs to get out without any runs, without allowing any, preferably without letting any hits or any runs. And if we can get out of this inning, again, maybe with a strikeout or two, we could at least start to get positive points for pitching, and that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us in terms of scoring bingos. And we've talked about this before, but those diagonal bingos are worth so much more. They are worth 1.5 times compared to some of the horizontal or verticals that are 1.1, 1.2, and even on the high end 1.3. But 1.5, if you have a lot of points lined up and you get a 1.5 times, it's going to add up significantly, and that's where you see a lot of huge jumps. So again, if we can claw our way out of that minus 12.5 points for pitching and get into the positive, that would be huge for us. So Justin Upton is up at bat right now. He is 0 for 3 on the day, 209 average, 7 home runs. But he is facing Francisco Lorano, who has a 3.31 ERA. And if Lorano could just throw strikes right now, like that, boom, 86 mile an hour changeup, 0-2. So Justin Upton down in the count right now. If we can throw some speed, that would be great. The 0-2 pitch. Ooh. Low slider. 1-2. Ball 1. Wow. Okay, so Pittsburgh, come on. This game is exciting, but Ranking Ball is just adding to that because it's just, oh my gosh, there it is. Strike 3, and Upton goes 0 for 4 now on the day. And look at that. We have finally dug ourselves out of the hole, which I said was almost impossible. But again, in baseball, mathematical improbabilities become commonplace, and we have gone from minus 12.5 points in my Pittsburgh pitching to 1 point. 1 point. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you came back from minus 12.5 points, oh my goodness. That is exciting. And now we have potential bingos lined up both vertically, horizontally, and diagonally based on the pitchers that will come up. Now Calhoun is up. Cole Calhoun. Ooh, high and tight, inside fastball. They're going to call that a ball. Cole Calhoun, though, is 1 for 1 on the day with a 237 average, 26 home runs, and we will actually see who has Cole Calhoun. If anybody has him in a good position. And okay, so Cole Calhoun right there. Second place, BRTTB11. Ooh, there we go. Strike 1. So the count is 1-1. So Cole Calhoun, if Cole Calhoun gets on base here, second place will get a bingo on that bottom horizontal. And you can see with Brian Reynolds has 6.5 points. So that bingo might actually add up to a lot. Do I think that they will come back? I don't. Unless it's a home run. And that is a fly out, which is very easily caught by Adam Frazier. So Calhoun goes down. So now we have 2 away. This could be a very fast inning. And again, you can see the smiles on the Pittsburgh Pirates face. They know what's happening and they know what's at stake here. And here we go. Albert Pujols, who is 1 for 2 on the day, 239, 18 home runs. The veteran. I hope he goes down swinging or at least grounds out something, because then my pitching score will stay in the positives. And again, that's going to be huge. There's a ball, 84-mile-an-hour slider, ball 1. So we go back to the board, see who else has Pujols, because Pujols won't really do much for me. Won't really do much for second place. Yotubabu. Ooh, come on, in the dirt again. Come on, get it together, get it together. Won't do much for third place. Just, I mean, points are points, yes, but I'm looking for bingos. Like if Stassi is huge for them. But they don't have, oh, they do have Pujols, but again, won't do much because the pitching is -12. Ooh, there we go, there we go. Strike 1. And what was that, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball? All right, so who am I forgot who I'm looking for. Get Pujols. That's right, that's right. Don't really see anybody who has him. Ooh, come on, come on. Just keep it in the strike zones. Let's see if we can find somebody. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to find people because, like, Pujols obviously is a great player, but statistically, he's, you know, obviously gone downhill. He's older, and you know, it's just part of it. Well, let's just leave it on my board for now. Ooh, and there's a drive, and that is an easy stop by the shortstop, Kevin Newman, and there's the out. 3 outs, and that ends the inning. So Pittsburgh gets out of the inning with 3 outs, and there we go. Look at that. My pitching now has 4 points, and I have gone up to 71.55 points, and I still remain in first place. But if we look at the board, I now have a 16-point gap between me and second place. And again, that is based on pitching alone. 11.5 points in the hole. That is huge, and that'll be a hard deficit to overcome, especially considering Pittsburgh offense has really picked up. But there's still a lot of baseball to be played, but we will actually end the stream right here so we can talk a little bit. Wow, what an exciting game. And like I said, when you're talking about ranking ball, the score can change dramatically like this. So I was 90th place overall, and now I am in a commanding first place. You know, if you know baseball, if you know what you're doing, and you know you're smart enough and good at math and statistics and you know whatever, like you can win. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to win yet, but very optimistically, it's looking pretty good for me at this point. No, but in all seriousness, it shows, you know, the importance of strategy when you're playing ranking ball. You can't just set the board randomly and hope for the best. You know, I actually struggled a lot with this board in choosing Pittsburgh as the winning team and as their pitcher. But I tried to stick with the numbers as best as possible, and the outcome has so far paid dividends. So optimistically going into that 8th and 9th inning, like we'll see what happens. But so far it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with that. So again, I just want to emphasize strategy. You know, take chances sometimes, because like I said, I did take the chance with Pittsburgh's batter, and that's you know, it is what it is. So again, we will see kind of how the game plays out in the last 2 innings. But for live up to the minute updates, don't forget to check RankingBall.com and check your mobile applications. And this has been another Ranking Ball live stream. And thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.